a stack of photographs from Mr. Njie, showing Makumbaya farms, their production, the type of flowers they produced, the quantities, and so on. This is really chronicled in the pictures that we have. So I thought that it is perhaps helpful if the public were given a glimpse of these pictures. So I would ask the cameraman to zoom into each picture to show the public what it is that we are looking at, so that they would have the same understanding as we do as to what Makumbaya Farm was and what they were doing.
And it might be important to mention that this is all a prelude to what brought Mr. Njie here, violation of human and abuses of human rights.
Yes, indeed, Mr. Chair, because one question is whether Mr. Njie just acquired the land and did not do anything with it, and later wanted to flog it, later wanted to sell it. That was the narrative that was being bandied around. And I think this is quite important in showing whether that narrative is true or false. But also, more significantly, to show what we can really do if we get our acts together and we organize ourselves properly. I mean, of course, this was a project involving Westerners and Gambians. But all it just shows that if we are organized, we can be a wall beater in many, many things, like Kumbaya Flowers did in the convention in the US. So we can have success in this country if we get our act together, and that's quite important.
Yeah.
And a lot is depicted in these pictures.
Well, that is all still very important indeed, but the side issues compared to what brought him here, the violation of his
Yes, the most
rights.
significant thing really is the human rights violations
Precisely,
that stem out of all this.
Yeah,
Thank you very much.
Sure.
So we ask you to take the pictures. Let's try to make sure we get the best shots possible so that people could see the pictures and understand them, and then we take it from there. I am not sure okay, yes, this is better. Out. Out. Yes, yellow. Perhaps, Mr. MAM SAIT, you can make some commentary on the photographs as they are shown on the screen.
Well, at the moment, the entire government machineries, the Chief Justice, the Minister of Justice, the Vice President, the Minister of Local Government, Alaji Asan Jallo at the time was the Chief Justice.
Minister of Justice.
Minister of Justice, sorry.
Yes.
And Landing Jallo Sonko, Landing Kiti Jabang.
Okay.
At the moment, this guy, Kini Momoy, on the general manager of the farm, is a British. Momo don't do his speech and be, man Marco don't translate all. Yes.
Next.
Framtins, my kineka on the left, Momo, I'm the farmer, the Las Palmas. Mom then hire one as the technical partners. More provide the grower from Denmark and the management team. More than prepare more stock with joge from England, unrooted, late live fish, ak family am ñoo toog nii. bi saa daaw da arrivé ñu jox ko flower bi moom moo jabaram kii Jaynaba la tudda doomi Oje Jallo la ñu ngi ko tuddee suma jabar. The production manager bi Axel Pedersen moo nekk in the middle ci picture bi ci kanam yaa jàmmee moo nekk moo doon pousse crowd bi pour ñu mun a duga. fii nii suma jabar moo nekk on the right hand side Jaynaba nge tàggatoo ak bi jawara bi ñoo ubbi Albert Market bi la woon so ñu provide flowers even Pope I think not Pope Francis, Pope John bi mu ñëwee ci Gambia bi ñu provide for the convent, the church ak Pope bi flower bi ñu ko jox sax. bi saa daaw da di prepare speech am bi moo read speech am bi. bi man maa ngi joxe suma speech alkaali bi moo doon translate to the local languages Omar Kujabi.
Of where? Of Makumbaya.
Wow. We wonder like how committed the villagers were at the time, the elders I mean.
Okay.
Be guests, some of them from Senegal. Some of the diplomatic corps, the British High Commissioner, the American Ambassador, USAID, Kini Chongan la, Kenen Ki Sisohola, and then I think Sarian, who was the Director General of Customs.
Sarian Cisse.
Sarian Cisse, yes. Bi ci cold room bi la, the production manager mu ngi explain al Sa Dawda su unrooted cotton si ñëwee dañ ko dee jël yóbbu ko ci propagation unit bi prepare ko foofu before ñu génnee ko si biti ci farm bi transplant ko. That's the boardroom. I think we comment on now on this one.
Okay, thank you very much. Thank you very much. So, Makumbaya farm stopped producing flowers.
Yes.
Because of the force majeure that arose as a result of the coup d'etat, now of 1994. And then you were approached by Minister of Agriculture and asked whether you are going to sell the farm.
Gana bobu nak minister wi nga xamne mo yara won ma wali mbey mi jamono bobu mu laaj la ndax da ngay jaay tol bi.
You refused to do so because you had an arrangement to produce onions or potatoes
nga bañ nak pour jaay tol bi ndax te amon na yeneeni pexe yo xamne yang ko don waaj nak pour bey fa ay légumes.
And you did produce vegetables.
Te beyon nga fay ay légumes.
And then what happened afterwards?
Gana bi lu xew?
We started production.
When we started the production,
it was very successful. Price be them down.
The price went down.
Why still stop? Mudo the frustrate investors
they started frustrating the investors.
NIA, the large land, one façon agreement again, I'm a Mr. NJIE.
Sometimes they will pick them and take them to NIA and ask them some question which kind of agreements you have with Mr. NJIE. Your mic lit council.
Who would pick them up and take them to the NIA?
NIA.
Well, normally they call we had a rough day today because then you born for your NIA.
They normally call me and told me that today we have a rough day. We were taken to a place called NIA.
And that would definitely be by government agents.
So, and
then?
Because then we're going to give the sublease agreement with British Union.
Because they wanted to see the sublease agreement that I have with the British, those British.
Whether any violation from my side.
Whether they have done any violation from my side.
Because being terminated contract with the CDC hand over land be back to me.
When the contract was terminated until CDC returned back the land to me.
CDC did the right thing, then def inventory.
CDC did the right thing, ñom def nañ li war.
Biñ defé lolu ba paré ñu hire nak lawyer Mariam Dentin.
When they did that already, they hired lawyer Mariam Dentin.
Pour mortgage biñ defoon ñu delowat mako back.
They returned the mortgage they did.
So they wanted to know one the lease bima dama ko sublease.
They wanted to know whether I want to sublease the lease I have.
They wanted also pour hamda liñ declare ne mom la ma ñoñu doon fay ci rent dégala.
They wanted to know also that to declare what they declared that what they were paying on rent for me is true.
At the end, you frustrated them.
At the end, they were frustrated. Go and come. They said that it's not voted.
After 3 years of the contract, they have to leave the country.
After 3 years of the contract, they left this country.
And that was frustration emanating from where?
Government.
State security agents.
Yes.
The NIA.
Yes.
President's office.
President in charge of everything.
President
lead on them because ñom su ñëwé pour explain ma liñ dem through dañ dé xamné dañ dé dégg conversation ci dañu dégg ko telephone conversation ci dañ ma dé explain why ma ngi leen di try pour one like this is a good project. They are making money.
I always try to persuade them that this is a very good project and they are making good money.
Why ñom ci farm bi lañ dëkkoon.
But they were living in the farm.
They
wait until midnight.
At
night they will go and pick them from there.
Sometimes they large halis.
Sometimes they even ask them money.
I try to convince them.
I always try to convince them.
Because we hire Gambians.
Because that was good for the country because we hired Gambians.
Why they were frustrated.
But they were frustrated.
In the end, they left.
They left. Because first contract, it was for 3 years.
Contract and
then it expired.
When it was expired,
you renew.
Then ko bëggoon a beesalaat.
Why dañ foog ne lii dafa continuer rek frustration bi dafa continuer rek.
Why nag but they thought that the frustration will continue.
Then they have to leave.
Ci kaw loolu ci lañ dem.
Yes.
And were you able to farm the land thereafter?
Frustration bobu moo gën a difficult.
That frustration was more difficult.
ñu door di yàqa bagage yi di ko sàcca.
They start stealing the items there.
The equipment.
The equipment.
Man fi ma dëkk dafa sori léegi-léegi watchman bi call na ma.
Where I live is far away. Sometimes the watchman will call me.
There were 14 reefer containers.
Alu dem si fukki river container ak ñeent fa nekkoon.
15 tunnels.
Ak fukki tunnel ak juróom.
Yooyu yëpp de huge investment.
Loolu yëpp dépasse bu bari lañ ci def.
Nga eew suba gis ne weldamaan yi ñëw na ñu dog foofu yëpp tunnels yi.
You see the weatherman will come and cut all those tunnels.
Def ko ci container yóbbu ko guddi.
And they put it in a container and take it away at night.
Yenn yi ñu takka watchman bi sax takka ko.
Sometimes they will tie up the watchman.
Yooyu yëpp dem nañ ko through.
We all went through all those things.
Generators were big.
Generator you mag lañ woon.
You spoil 1 million in order to get $100.
Yes.
Yaxa benn million pour am benn $100.
That's sad, isn't it?
Very sad.
Daw yaram la.
Waaw du daw yaram.
Then at the end,
ci mujjental gi.
it was too much for me.
Mu ëpp loxo lool.
Because one time nit rek laa woon.
I'm also just a human being.
Going through all those process.
I went through all those processes.
So gomul doo ko mun a def.
If you don't have good faith, you cannot do it.
So finally,
ci mujjental.
ma bàyyi leen rek ñu leen def lu leen neex rek.
I just left them like that. Whatever pleases them, they do
Munuma
it.
woon di dem to the police station every day di report ñoom ñuy dem di leen arrest di leen yóbbu di leen tëj cell.
I couldn't be going to the police station every day reporting. They will be arresting them, putting them in cells and the like.
Yundum police station.
Yundum police station.
So at the end,
ci mujjental gi.
ma give up.
Ma dal di bàyyi leen ko noonu.
Then nag,
after gannaaw loolu.
there was another project called Lamine Dairy Plant.
Am na beneen project bu ñu xamoon Lamine Dairy Plant.
It was back to back with the Makumbaya Flower Farm.
Moom nag mu ngi jëflante woon ak Makumbaya Farm, Flower Farm.
Feasibility study bi mu ngi nii.
This is the feasibility study.
Financed by the Danish government.
Dépasse bi nag mu ngi tukkee woon ci nguuri Denmark.
Dañ pare woon in the Heifers special breed of cows yoo xam ne dinañ survive fii ci climate.
Dañ bëggoon a they wanted to bring some special kind of cow that can fit in our society.
That can survive
in this Gambian weather.
So ma discuss ko ak waa Lamine yi.
So ma waxtaan ko ak waa Lamine. I discussed it with people from Lamine.
ñu kontaan ci xalaat bi lool.
They were so happy with the idea.
ñoo ooyee Dudu Touré mooy woon chef bi.
Somebody called Dudu Touré, who was the chief then.
mu invite ma.
He invited me.
Council of Elders yi.
Council of Elders.
ñu dem ñu won ñu land bi.
We went and discussed the land.
ñu waxtaan.
We discussed
compensation.
For compensation.
Cash and in kind.
Cash, xaalis ak yeneen ndàmpaay.
biñ paree.
When we were done.
The same Danish government.
benn nguuri Denmark boobu.
Minister of Foreign Affairs of Denmark.
Kii nekkoon ministre bi saytu woon wàllu doxalin bitim réewi Denmark.
Send an appraisal team.
Send an appraisal team.
Appraise project bi.
Pour nag ñu seet nag li nga xam ne mooy doxalini project bi.
Man suma objective always mooy woon naka laay involve Gambians.
My objective was how to involve Gambians.
mu ñu isi waale benn expert bu amoon experience in dairy farm in Kenya.
Came with one expert who has experience from Kenya.
ñu dawal fii nii dem ba Koina.
We went up to Koina. We drove to Koina.
mu design benn mechanism.
He designed one mechanism.
ne léegi nañ am a milk collecting centers.
That we have to have one milk collecting centers.
Because dafa amoon benn dairy plant, no, du dairy plant, but a yogurt plant at Dankunku.
There was one yogurt plant at Dankunku.
Funded by UNDP.
Which was funded by UNDP.
Area boobu dafa bari woon meew.
That place, we have milk.
Buñ ko produce ba pare.
When it was produced already.
Buñ ko defee ci buses.
When it was put in buses.
mu isi ko ci Western Division bi fi nga xam ne fa la buying power bi nekk.
Bring it to Western Division where you have the buying power.
Yogurt bi dafa yaaxu.
It usually spoiled.
So you design a mechanism.
They design one mechanism.
Dañoo ne village bu nekk dañoo ñëw establish a testing center.
Every village will establish a testing center.
Then build a house.
They will build a house, then tabax fofu nek.
Then a generator.
Then there will be a generator.
And a lab.
And a lab.
Farmers will supply with cans.
The farmers will be supplied with cans.
Aluminium cans.
Baykat yi dañ leen jox ay can.
Defee ñu dañ ko jox alkali.
It will be given to the alkali.
ñoom dinañ xam farmers yépp.
They will know all the farmers.
Ko defee ñooñu dañoo isi seen meew mi fresh.
They will bring their milk fresh.
Test ko.
And it will be tested.
Suñ buggee ñu fay leen suñ buggee ñu bàyyi ko for a week or two.
They one day you can pay them that time, or they leave it for 2 days, week or two.
So
it's
ñu
left
am
to them.
ñaari trucks yu mag.
They have 2 trucks, big ones.
It's just like petrol tanks yooyu.
Like a petrol tank essence.
Dem benn bi dafa leave here tey ci guddi dem fanaani Basse.
The one will just live here and spend the night in Basse.
Muy ñëw su ñëwee ba Georgetown mu jaar foofu collect milk bi su ñëwee ba Bansang mu collect di ñëw.
It will be collecting from Bansang, from Georgetown, Bansang up to here.
Ba nga xam ne su ñëwee dafa ñëw ci plant bi in Lamine.
When it comes, it will come to the plant in Lamine.
Mu discharge.
And will discharge.
Then beneen bi dem up country moom itam.
The other one will go up countries.
Then bii moom dina dem ci Western Division boori Gunjur foofu mooy woon the main catchment area.
The other one will go to Gunjur, wise was the main catchment for Flagena Bari.
Boobu tam we have the same investors.
We have the same investors. The ñeneen ñi yëngu ci mbir moom ñoo ñu fa.
Supported by government.
Taxaw ko nag di nguur gi.
Land bi was leased.
Ñu dal di lease place bi.
Boobu itam at the end of the day funds were provided.
That also funds were provided. Joxe woon nañ ci ay koppar.
Take it off the ground.
Mu jëw nag continuer.
Because time bi ñoo finalize deal boobu sila the same coup d'etat happen.
The time the deal will be finalized, that is time there was taken over.
Coup d'etat be deprived na this government or this country.
That overthrow deprived this country xañ na réew mi.
Kenn xamul naka la toll.
Kenn xamul ni loolu toll.
Foo ko natta rek passé.
You can't quantify it.
You can't quantify how much it is.
Amount of losses.
So ma acquire land in the normal due process.
Dama jot nag suuf yooyu ci anam gi nga xam ne noonu la jaadoo noonu la waree.
Based on the traditional way.
Moo xam na ci yooni aada.
Ma dem waxtaan ak kilifa yi.
I spoke with the Council of Elders.
Li yeneen foreigners yi di def rek.
Like the other foreigners used to do.
So bi lii yëpp failee.
When all these things failed.
Ma ne okay.
And I said,
apply for a change of use.
ma ne waaw léegi ma wecci nag beneen doxalin boo xam ne noonu lañ koy jëriñooyee.
Change of use.
ma binda nguur gi laaj leen pour ñu dooleel ma pour suuf si li ma ko doon soxlee ma ñu wecci ko. Njëriñ gi ma liñ ko doon soxlee ñu wecci ko.
The change of use bi.
ci wecceeku boobu.
loolu kenn rek moo ko mun a joxe policy la.
Sarta la it's only one person who can give it out.
mooy lease bi ak leasoo bi the minister.
The lease and the leasoo ki ko lease ak ki ko war a lease.
mooy ki joxe lease bi ak kam ko jox.
loolu mooy loi land act bi.
That's the law for the land act.
ma apply.
ma bindu.
You refer to Birkama.
It was referred to Birkama.
Physical planning office there.
At the physical planning office.
You inspect land bi.
They came and inspected the land.
Confirm ne lima fa def yep mungfa.
And they confirmed that all what I said is there.
You recommend to the physical planning Banjul.
And they recommended to the physical planning in Banjul.
You recommend to the minister.
And they also recommended back to the minister.
Ne sarta yima wala def yep def nako.
All the principles, I have done it.
All the things that I needed to do
I have done it.
Minister be approved ko.
And it was approved by the minister.
Bindama.
And wrote to me.
So, amma yo hamme danga wada fay change of use fee.
léegi dafa am nag loo xam ne da nga ko war a fay ci beneen njëriñ boobu nga xam ne moo war a jëfewaat foofu.
si laa dem approach social security and housing finance.
That's the time I went and approached the social security and finance.
I meet the MD then.
I met with the MD ma gisante borom kër gi jamono boobu.
Ma am a positive meeting ak moom.
Ma am waxtaan bu yéwén ak moom.
Mu ne ma binda.
He told me that you have to write to me.
Forward all the documentation.
Then you forward all the documentation nga àggale kayit yëpp yi nga xam ne moo ci làmboo.
What did you want to do with social security?
Loo bëggoon a defante ak social security?
Because dama bëggoon a low-cost housing.
I wanted a low-cost housing.
Pour dimbale teachers yi.
So that I will help the teachers.
Police yi.
The police.
Nurses yi.
Nurses yi.
Ak military personnel si.
And the military personnel.
Because Bakote real estate bi.
Because the Bakote real estate.
The Bakote housing estate.
Housing estate.
It's funded by the Norwegian government.
The pass bi mu ngi tukkee ci Norwegian government nguuri Norway.
I was involved on the negotiations.
Te bokkoon naa ci waxtaan woowa.
In Norway.
Ci réewi Norway.
Delegation bi ñëwaan Gambia, Norway.
When the delegation used to come to Norway.
You can remember MC Cham.
maa ngi cee fàttali ku mel ni MC Cham.
Lamin Saho, the former Minister of Justice.
Lamin Saho ki nekkoon ministre bi saytu woon wàllu loi ak àtte ci réew mi.
Maurice Monde.
Maurice Monde Junior.
First and Chief Executive of NIB.
First Executive NIB.
Suleiman Dafai.
Suleiman Dafai.
Heavy delegation.
Di mbooloo di ndaw yoo xam ne ni ñu takku lañ.
ñu waan suma kër lañ daan añee every day.
When they come, they usually have their lunch in my house every day.
So amoon naa experience pour xam ne a low-cost housing is possible in the Gambia.
Then I have the experience that the low-cost housing is possible in this country.
The demand was there.
Because the demand was there.
Then when I discussed social security.
When I discussed with social security.
They were interested in the same project.
They were interested in the same project.
Because
they have done it already. Because they have done it already. They did the Bakote one.
Then you know to details.
When we came to details.
For preparing a board paper.
Board
large ma lease bi.
They asked about the lease.
You large ma change of use bi.
They asked about the change of use.
Documents ma large yep ma provided len ko.
I provided all the documents being asked for.
You submit ko sen lawyer.
They submitted to their lawyer.
At the time was Ami Bensouda moy won sen retainer.
At that time it was Ami Bensouda.
Of course, Ami did not have due diligence said that documents were proper.
Ami will do a job that the documents were proper. When those things were done,
inform the MD all documents MAM SAIT submit then genuine documents.
Then she advised the MD that all the documents that MAM SAIT give they were genuine.
Prepare a board paper.
Then she prepared a board paper.
And an approval from the board.
And an approval from the board Benanguko.
And a budget of $470 million.
With a budget of $470 million
in def sites and services.
Which will cover site and services.
Then including water, electricity and everything. So the man dama surrender again the land, the lease.
I have to surrender the lease again.
To Social Security.
To Social Security.
Assign Lenko.
And assign it to them.
Hand over the land.
And hand it over the land to them.
They will do the investment.
With vacant possession.
Vacant possession. A virgin land.
The truth so hamne dara nekku fa.
Confirm nañ lolu ci sun communication documents yoy man ko submit.
They confirm that in our communication documents.
Ak biko board bi approuvé.
And when the board approve it.
So agreement bi moy 30-70%. ñom ñu jël 70% man ñu jox ma 30%.
The agreement was 70% for them and 30% for me. Nangato bi moy xaaji téeméer bu nekk juróom-ñaar fukk ya pour ñoom fanweer bi pour man.
So it was about 3,700 plots.
Mu dem ci ñetti junne ak juróom-ñaar téeméeri pak.
Ma agree.
And I agreed
Proposal bobu.
With that proposal.
Then how many plots were to go to Social Security?
They will have 2,003, I think.
2,245 plots?
Yes.
And MAM SAIT NJIE, 967 plots.
Thank you. Then, being finalized, you draft a joint venture agreement.
When they finalize that, they make a joint venture agreement.
Biñ paré document bo man tam ñu jox ma a draft.
When they were done with that document, they gave me a draft.
Our Cissé Sabally review.
Our Cissé Sabally review it.
Mom moy suma lawyer at the time.
He was my lawyer at that time.
You said como protect my interest.
To protect my interest.
Then you finalize document.
And the document was finalized.
So let's try to understand this. You brought in your land. So you own the whole. Okay. What did Social Security have to do in order to get the 2,245 plots?
Social Security lan lañ wara mëna def be mëna am ñaari junne ñaari témèr ak ñeneen fukk ak juróomi ka fofu.
Ñom ñoy def investment bi yépp 100%.
Because they were the one to do the investment 100%.
That is, it was site and service.
Yes.
Correct. So they'd have to bring electricity, roads, water, telephone,
sewage, everything. Yes.
Yep.
As indicated in the agreement.
As indicated in the agreement, to the tune of $470 something million.
Yes.
Proceed, please.
Yeah.
So as a result of that investment, you have to give them 70% of the land, and you retain 30% of the land.
Ngir ñom lolu nga xamne moy liggéey bobu ñu fa def yépp lolu mo waral be xaaji témèr bu ci nekk ñom ñu jël juroom ñaar fukay yow nga jël xaaji témèr bu nekk fanwer.
Ñu jël land bi.
Did you seek government approval? I know the Board of Social Security approved the deal. But did the government also agree to the deal?
Xamna ne kilifay Social Security nangu to won nañ ba paré ak yow waye ndax nguur gi tamit nangu to won nañ ak yeen.
All the way to cabinet.
Demon nañ be ci penchu ministre yi cabinet.
Because so is Social Security la ñom ñoo apply.
Because it was so of Social Security because they applied.
Dañ warona fay change of use.
They're supposed to pay the change of use.
You apply to the Minister of Local Government.
And they applied to the Minister of Local Government.
The cost of change of use was about 7 million.
And the cost of
17 million.
Li warona nek cost of use bi fukki million ak juroom ñaar la won.
Ci agreement bi.
But on the agreement ci nangato bi.
Dañ ne suko government approved.
They said that if government didn't approve this.
You share cost bi.
And we share the cost.
Joint
venture
agreement.
In the joint venture agreement.
Last page of the joint venture agreement.
Joint venture
the prices of the plots neka.
That's where the price of the plot is.
Then Fufula some encounter started man at the former president.
That's where my encounter started with the former president.
But, okay, proceed.
Because this is a big project.
Project Burela.
First meeting,
our first meeting asked what is there for me.
But before that, did Social Security inform government about the project?
Yes.
Bala lolu Social Security yegalon nañ nguur gi mbiri liggéey bobu fa wara am.
Wow.
Yes.
And do you have documents to show for it?
Am nga ben
yes.
kayit ko wone.
You have provided me with this letter dated 21st November 2008, and it is from Office of the President, addressed to the Permanent Secretary, Department of State for Economic Affairs.
Yeah.
It was signed by Ibrahim Sama Kor for Secretary General. And it says public-private partnership, Lamin Makumbaya Housing Project. And it says reference is hereby made to your letter, admin 324/445/01/ brackets open 91 brackets close, dated November 17, 2008, on the above captioned matter, has been approved for Social Security Housing Finance Corporation to implement the Makumbaya Housing Project.
Yes. And there is a follow-up letter to that.
Okay. And then the ministry, the permanent secretary, Ministry of Finance, Mod A.K. Seka, wrote to the managing director, Social Security Housing Finance Corporation, and says, I write to convey the approval of His Excellency the President for the Social Security and Housing Finance Corporation to go ahead and implement the Makumbaya Housing Project. Those are the two documents.
There is a third one.
Yes.
Social Security, they wrote to their line ministry, Ministry of Finance.
Then line ministry will Ministry of Finance.
Yes.
Nelen, board approval.
And told them that we had a board approval.
Because board be normally president be more they pick board be represent fofu.
Because the board normally is the president who pick who will represent him in that board.
Then been the finance.
When he wrote to the finance.
Finance in turn wrote to president's office.
Finance at the end wrote to the president's office.
Who endorse.
And he endorsed it.
The project.
The project itself.
And those are the two letters.
Those are the two letters.
Showing government approval.
Letter finance being your office of the president.
Could you produce that?
Unfortunately, it's government is enough. Why
Okay.
Okay.
All right. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
But you said the interest of the president in this project heightened.
Yeah. It was not gratis.
So you said you had a meeting with the president.
Obviously, land moko fa nekkal.
Yes, obviously he asked what is there for him.
And what did you understand him to mean by that?
Dafa describe ne dafa need about 300 plots.
That means that he needs about 300 plots. Ne manam dafa soxlo dem ñetti téméri pak fofu.
Yo xamne su footballers yi démé be am ndam.
That when the footballers came with victory, there is something that he will give it to them.
Militants, party militants.
And some party militants, so
that means the lolu da for the gain a man 700 plots.
And that means that should come from my 700
967.
967. Suma juroom ñenti téméri plot ak lu tek.
Did he ask you directly to give him 300 plots?
Yes.
Yes.
Wow.
Did he tell you what was the basis of his demand?
Because to support the project be, you understand the project will move.
Because if he didn't support the project will not move. So tahawute the project will dem kada.
Letter you move them.
This is why those letters went.
It is not normal, following the approval of His Excellency to go ahead and implement. Then you're in the office of the president.
This is why they said the approval of the office of the president to go ahead.
More you have instruction be.
More he himself give the instruction.
Okay. Let's try to understand this, the sequence of things. The Social Security, they are board approved, correct?
Yes. Social Security sen kilifaya nangu tonen.
They wrote to finance asking for clearance.
Ñu binda finance tam pour mu jox len yoon.
In the meantime, you had a meeting with the president.
Betay ci digante bi nga am meeting daje ak president bi.
The letter be them from finance.
When the letter went from finance,
that was the first meeting.
That was my first meeting with him.
That's my life directly. What is in there for me?
And he asked me directly, what is there in for me?
Answer this question directly. Was he asking for a bribe, or was he asking for something he was entitled to?
Limon laajte noonu ndax yow ci yow dukku la woon pour moom wala daf doon laajte loo xam ne daf ko yelloo.
Or was he trying to seize a part of the land for himself, whether you agreed or not?
Wala ndax daf doon bugga nangu yenn ci pakka yooyu moo xam ànda nga ci wala ànduloo ci.
Bribe laa ko gisee.
I saw it as a bribe.
Because suma laajee loolu.
Because if he asked me that,
suma reaction mooy woon man awma lu ma fayee suma legal fees.
My reaction was that I didn't have anything to pay for my legal fees.
Ne waaye dinañ ko mun a monetize.
But we can monetize it.
What did you understand that to mean? How could you monetize it?
Loolu ci yow lum tekki ne dinañ ko soppal def ko koppar.
Ne nañ jaay 300 plus ci social security.
He said that we have to sell the 300 plus to social security.
But social security already had their share of 2,245.
Yeah,
waaye social security ñoom am nañ seen wàll ba pare ñaari.
boobu su la waxee dara defuloo ko rek mu daaxala.
Then he was the president. That time, if he asks you to do something, you don't do it, he will just fire you.
So, transaction bobu.
On that transaction,
the retainer lawyer.
The retainer lawyer,
Ami Bensouda hamusi dara.
Ami Bensouda didn't know anything about it.
My lawyer hamusi dara.
My lawyer didn't know anything about it. They just had it.
Both of them reacted.
And they all reacted.
But it was very difficult to explain.
Why? Jafe on na pour leral. Your mic.
Make us understand why the lawyers were not even aware, and why was it difficult for you?
Lan moo tax de lawyer yi xamal leen lan moo doon dox ak lan moo taxoon mu jafe ko yow.
Yeah, because deal la woon bu lawyer si xam ko.
Because it was a deal, he didn't want the lawyers to know about it. He didn't want it.
This was a very swift one.
Because it was a very swift one to go on.
So here you are, you have your agreement with Social Security.
Léegi yaa ngi nii am nga sa nangutoo ak Social Security.
And now he wanted his own share.
Yes.
Léegi moom nag mu soxla ci wàllam.
Of that deal.
Ci nangutoo boobu.
Because Social Security duñ ko mun a def dafa open too much. Everybody will know it.
Because the Social Security cannot do it because it will be very open and everybody will know it. Ñëpp danañ ko doon di xam ni ko.
Nim ko gisee mooy even if you have 600 plots.
Wow, he saw it is even you have 600 plots, boo si awaree am sa juróom benn téeméeri pàkk.
So jaayee plots yooyu suñ paree with the size and services.
If you sell those plots when we are done with the size and services,
minimum di nga am benn 300 million.
The minimum is $300 million.
That was the selling point.
That moo nekkoon njaay ma.
So he thought if you lost 300 plots, it's no big deal.
Mu foog ne ndax daal loolu moom boo ci ñàkkee ñetti téeméeri pàkk moom loolu du dara.
Du foofu nga mun a amee sa xaalis bi daal. That was his language.
That was not the place where you can get your money. That was his language. Moo nekkoon waxam.
Did you feel that you were free to say yes or no?
Ndax yëgoon nga ci sa bopp nag ne yow nag mun ngaa wax waaw wala déet bañ wala nangu.
Awma woon choice.
I had no choice.
Wax déedéet.
To say no.
Ma am pour wax waaw.
I have to say yes.
Because daf doon clip project be over there.
Then because he would have clipped the project over there.
Because amu ci dara.
He didn't have anything there.
Was that the norm?
No.
But was that the way Jammeh operated? You had to pay a bribe in order for projects to go ahead.
Ndax Jammeh noonu la daan defee foog nga dukk ko mu soog a nangu.
Loolu mooy suma experience amoon.
That was my experience with him.
Did you tell anybody that you had to give these plots to Jammeh?
Am na kenn koo wax ne daal pàkk yooyu danga ko war a jox Jammeh.
At the time it was very difficult.
Ci jamono boobu nag dafa jafe woon.
You are risking your life.
Yaa ngi jaay sa bakkan.
Moom soo ko xamalee dara.
If you know something for him,
either mu rey la.
Either he will kill you.
Mu yóbbu la mile 2.
Or he will take you to mile 2.
And I was fortunate.
Man am na chance.
Mu yóbbu ma mile 2.
Mu yóbbu ma mile 2.
tama muna talk fii tey di explain la xew.
This is why I can come and sit here today and explain what happened.
So you said these 300 plots he demanded, he monetized it
Yes.
in the end.
Léegi nga ne ñetti téeméeri kër yim doon laajte ni gannaaw daf ko soppali koppar.
How did he monetize it?
Mu ne ma offer Social Security 300 plots.
He told me to offer 300 plus to Social Security.
I did.
Ma def ko.
You accept ko.
They accepted it.
Did they negotiate the price?
ñoom xaalis bi nga leen waxoon ndax waxtaanee nañ ci.
The price already mu ngi si agreement ba. Mënuñoo change at the price boobu 165,020.
The price is already in the agreement. They cannot change it.
Why?
But did Social Security in fact have a choice to accept to buy your 300 plots or not? Because they were not going to make a profit on those plots because the price has already been set.
Well, they said they were going to because instruction la woon.
They said they will do it because it's an instruction.
From where?
bu jógee fan.
Letter boobu you read, Esa, to go ahead and implement.
The letter that you just read to go ahead and implement, but letter boobu nga jàng pour ñu continuer te tamit doxal ko.
It cost the 300 plots you.
mooy njëgi ñetti téeméeri.
It's not normal. ñoom they needed only the board approval and the line ministry approval.
They just needed the line ministry approval and the board approval.
Why pour nag project bii nii am recognize boo xam ne kenn du ko doubt.
For the project to have a good recognition that nobody will doubt it.
The president bi binda letter boobu.
That's the reason why the president wrote that letter. Your mic.
Know for certain that he expressly, either directly or indirectly, instructed Social Security to buy those 300 plots.
ndax xam nga ndax digal na Social Security moo xam jaxaran la wala du jaxaran pour ñu jënd ñetti téeméeri kër yooyu.
waaye yéen ay xel moo ko mottali because Social Security duñ dugga ci lu mel nii te moom endorse ko.
Yes, that you have to go by your mind. Social Security cannot go with this thing without his approval.
Because man bima bindee letter bi pour offer leen 300 plots.
Because when I wrote the letter to offer them the 300 plots,
dafa attach letter the president bi.
He attached the president letter.
To some of the board members as a walkabout resolution.
To some of board members.
So they quickly agreed.
taxawaay ñu nangu.
And how much was the Social Security to pay for these 300 plots?
léegi Social Security ñaata lañ waroon a fay ci ñetti téeméeri.
Only one price more, 165,000.
There was only one price, 165,000.
I was quick to understand ne.
Ma gaawoon pour yëg ne.
su ma ci addut on the 165 bi man dama leen ko offer at 165.
I offered them at 165.
Pour taxes yi nga xam ne dañ ko include ne ñoom ñoo responsible.
Because of the tax it was included that they were responsible.
Or the capital gains tax.
The capital gain tax.
And other taxes.
And the other taxes.
So there was a balance of 20 million.
And then there was a balance of 20 million.
So dama leen bindoon ne leen.
I wrote to them that.
You keep 20 million boobu.
They keep the 20 million.
Any eventuality like taxes, rates, etc.
In case of eventualities, moo xam nag yeneen feeñ ci lu mel ni ki naama yi ak yeneen.
So si agreement bi ñu fa def clause 327.
And the agreement there is a clause 327.
Ne ñoom Social Security they are responsible for all taxes.
That all the Social Security are responsible for all the taxes.
Let me read it out. Mr. Chair, this is the joint venture agreement. And it says the corporation, the opening list is the corporation shall, and then 3.2.7, to pay from the date of entry all rates, taxes, claims, and assessments chargeable against an owner by statute or otherwise in respect of the project land.
Very clear.
So,
yes.
So you left about 20 million.
Yeah.
or taxes and so forth.
Léegi nga bàyyee leen lu tollu ci ñaar fukki million pour ñu fay ci ay naama yooyu.
Okay. So, and then what happened after that?
Gannaaw bi nag lu xew.
So, did Social Security buy the 300 plots?
Social Security jëndoon nañ ñetti téeméeri kër yooyu.
Yes, wow.
But who was to own the proceeds of that sale?
Léegi njaay moomu ñu def nag kan moo waroon a moom li ci faxee ko.
President Jammeh.
It's supposed to be President Jammeh.
But there was a letter here domiciling the sale to Trust Bank.
Yes.
Waaye am na kay bu fi bind ne pay me Trust Bank lañ ko jox.
Lolu was part of the deal because so ko yone Trust Bank, any other bank, mu ne by force fofu lañ ko def. Dafa instruct Social Security ñoom ci boppam ñu de agree on that.
Dafa jox ndigal Social Security ne nuñ ko fay feneen lu mooy si banque bu ñu xamee Trust Bank.
Who did that?
Ku ko def.
Kenn rek moo mën a def instruction boobu mooy President Jammeh.
There's only one person who can do that instruction, which is President Jammeh.
Okay.
Social Security tontu.
Then Social Security responded.
Man tam ma bindat bank bi.
Then I wrote to the bank.
Won leen ne xaalis bi foofu lañ ko domicile.
Then this money should be domiciled there.
I have here the letter from Social Security accepting the domiciliation of the payment to Social Security. It was signed by Tumbulke Danso on 16 February 2009.
Yes.
All right. So this money was to be paid into your account.
Yes.
Léegi xaalis bi yow ci sa compte lañ ko waroon a fay.
At Trust Bank.
Yes.
Trust Bank.
How was it paid?
Naka lañ ko fa fayee?
Checks.
By 1 or 2 installments.
2 installments.
Ci ñaari xaaj lañ ko fayee.
Of how much each?
Bu ci nekk ñaata?
15 million each.
Bu ci nekk fukki million ak juróom.
First one we went on very well.
Benn bu njëkk bi demoon na dem bu yomb.
What do you mean by went on very well? Explain the process.
Loo tekki ne dem na ni mu war a demee.
Suñ ko fayee ba pare man maa responsible pour kii ko collect si.
When it's paid, I'm responsible for the person who should collect it.
So, ko defee su ñëwee kim dee yónni Mr. Badji.
When the person he used to send, Mr. Badji.
Which Badji?
And Badji?
Was the General Badji, yes.
That is General Badji.
Bu ñëwee jël ko yóbbu ko.
When he come, he will just come and collect it.
Then moom daf maa inform rek ne kile ngay ñëw.
He usually inform me that this man is coming.
Period.
That's the end.
Ko defee bu ñëwee.
Then he comes.
Kum dee àndal na waaye kooku si suuf la dee nekk si moto bi.
Someone who used to come with, but that one used to be at the vehicle.
Suma messenger bi moo ñëw wax ma ne diw sangam dee mu ngi laa xaar.
That is my messenger who will come and tell me that somebody is waiting for you.
Mu ñëw.
When he comes,
ma jox ko mu dem.
I will give him and he left.
Second installment. But let's spend a little more time here. $15 million. It's not something that you just carry on a sling bag and go. This is a lot of money.
$50 million ak juróom doo ko jël rek ajoo ko ci sa mbagami rek ci bag rek dem moom.
Doo dee jël 15 bi at one go.
You don't take the 15 at one go.
You can take 5 today.
You can take 5.
The man ma don dajale rek amount bi si office bi.
I'm the one who usually
so bi mutee 15.
When it is 15.
I confirm.
And I confirm.
ñëw jël si ko.
And he will come and collect it.
In what did you put it?
Well, momo is a container.
Momo de indi defukaay bi.
What kind of container?
It was a post office bag.
It was this post office bag.
It's light grey color.
Di boo xam ne bu doom taal la noonu la mel.
rek mu teg ko ci du ko dee container.
When he comes, he never count it.
yóbbu ko.
And he will just take it like that.
Why did you give him all that money? You had all that money. Why did you give it?
Lu tax ngay ko jox xaalis boobu yëpp?
Yes, at the time I don't have a choice. Agree naa ko ak moom ba pare.
Esa jamono boobu ama den lu may tànnati am nangu naa ko ak moom ba pare.
Time boobu soo defee lu mu bëggul rek am na nu mu laa def moom itam.
There was a time if you don't do what doesn't please him, there's something that he will do to you.
So in essence, he asked you, or he basically compelled you to give him 300 plots, which he could use for footballers and party militants and so on, but then he decided to cash in on them. He decided to convert that into cash by compelling Social Security to buy those 300 plots.
léegi moom lim la def loo mooy nga jox ko ñetti téeméeri kër yoo xam ne daf la waxoon ne daf ko jox ay
because Social Security don't muna dem execute deal be without that letter.
Yes, because Social Security couldn't have done this and execute it without that letter.
So he had to be paid for agreeing to the deal.
mel ni daf dañ ko war a fay pour mu mun a
Very clear.
So the first batch, the first tranche, the first installment, you cast the checks, and then Sol Badji came for the money.
léegi pay bu njëkk bi nag nga dal di génne xaalis bi Sol Badji ñëw jël ko.
I am a letter boo xam ne checks numbers yëpp a ngi indicate there.
We would want to see that.
I will provide it for you.
What happened to the next 15 million?
beneen fukki million ak juróom bi des nag lu ci xew.
boobu mu ngi war a I think October la waroon a fall in.
Yeah, that one should have fallen in October.
In June.
1st October.
Yes, 1st October.
1st October.
In June.
In June.
Mu ne ma dafa need that 15 urgently.
He told me that he need that 15 million urgently.
Who told you that?
Kana la ko wax.
Borom xaalis bi président bi.
President bi. The president himself.
Did he tell you the reason why he needed money urgently?
Bima ko waxee nag ne ko loolu ngi June, July, August, September, October in 4 months' time.
When I told him that that one is due in 4 months' time,
Munema, you can discount it because you have the agreement already.
he told me that you can discount it because you have the agreement already. Ndax mun nga koy wàññi because am nga nangoto we pare.
Déedéet mun nga koo jaay ci njëg lu gën a yomba.
Mun nga koo jaay ci njëg lu gën a yomba ndax am nga nangoto we pare.
But did he tell you why he needed the money urgent?
waxoon na lu tax mu soxla xaalis bi ci taxawaay.
He mentioned wife and dafa waroon a travel.
He meant dafa waxoon nag ne soxnaam dafa waroon a tukki.
So daf ko need before that time.
He needed it before that time.
So ma binda bank bi yónnee naa la letter bi.
I wrote to the bank. That's the letter I sent you.
You have it?
Yes.
Yes.
This is from MAM SAIT NJIE, dated 23rd June 2009, addressed to the Managing Director, Trust Bank Gambia Limited. You said here, I write in connection with the above mentioned subject and pursuant to our earlier arrangement, I would translate this. Pursuant to our earlier arrangement whereby your esteemed bank was able to provide a discounted facility to me in respect of the sale of 300 plots to the Social Security and Housing Finance Corporation. As a further 50% payment is falling now due on 1st October 2009 and amounting to 15 million, I'd be grateful if your bank would be favorably disposed to discounting the entire amount falling due upon terms to be agreed. As you are aware, the Social Security Housing Finance Corporation has already confirmed that all proceeds due to me under our agreement would be domiciled with Trust Bank Limited. Looking forward to your prompt and affirmative response. And the domiciliation said this instruction, that is the instruction for domiciliation, is irrevocable without prior notification of the bank.
Thank you.
So the bank would be confident that this money would come back to them.
Yeah, that was the guarantee.
Lim wax ci lettre bi moy comme rek ne lima d'accord on ak Social Security pour jaay len pakka yoyu nonu te musna def ak yeen arrangement bo xamne joxna len chèque ngeen wañi njëg bi ngeen bañu valeur bi jox ma xaalis bu ci te waxtu chèque bi jotagut may leena laajaat ne lima Social Security wara jox di fukki million ak juróom mu ngi wara exi 1st October 2009 may leen di ñaan pour ngeen ma jaay leen ko su ko defee ci njëg boo xam ne dinañ ko d'accord ba nga xam ne chèque gi Social Security bi su ñëwee mu dem ci yéen kon ka d'accord nañ ne Social Security lépp lu ñuy fay ci yéen lay ñëw loolooy lettre bi. So did Trust Bank agree?
Trust Bank
That was a good deal for Trust Bank.
Loolu nag deal bu baax la woon pour Trust Bank.
And nañ ci transaction boobu $2 million.
In that transaction, they earned $2 million.
So the 15 million check that was due in 4 months was discounted and paid immediately to the value of $13 million.
fukki million ak juróom bi nga xam ne ñu ngi ko waroon a fay ñeenti weer ci kanam loolu comme que da ngeen ko soxla léegi ñoom wàññi nañ ci ba am ci $2 million ñu dal di leen fay fukki million ak ñett yi.
Did Jammeh agree to that deal?
Jammeh nangu woon na ci loolu.
Proposal Samla.
Well, that was
A lot of shopping money.
xaalis bu bari la bu moo war a dem rek jaay.
Wow. And so you discounted the check.
Yes.
Let me ask you, Mr. Njie, would you have done that for your own use? To lose $2 million just like that?
Never.
it wasn't voted. It was for, if it was on mine, I will wait until it is due.
I was never in charge of that transaction.
So I was not in charge of that transaction.
I was not in control at all.
Who was in control?
The president.
Did you say this to anybody at the time?
Lolo is like you're committing suicide.
Lolo is just like you are committing suicide. If I should have told somebody, I will not be sitting here talking to you.
But how did you feel that your $30 million is just going to go away like that?
I feel terrible, Esa.
Yeah, I felt terrible. Just a human being.
I'm on choice.
I had no choice.
Choice be more, I take it or leave it.
The choice was either I take it or I leave it.
It was very sad.
Down Arab.
It
was very painful. What can I do?
And so the transaction went ahead.
Transaction went ahead.
And then soon after there were problems.
Because then Social Security jail nañ suma land be pare assign nañ leen ko be pare register nañ ko.
Because then the Social Security has already taken my land, it was assigned to them and it was already registered.
So man jeexal naa si land.
I am finished with this land.
And you delivered vacant possession.
Well,
letter
bi nga read bi board approval mu ngi ko ci indicate.
Yes.
Then the project was supposed to be completed ñaari at.
The project supposed to be completed in 2 years.
First year bi defuñ dara.
The first year we did nothing.
Ko daxana MD ba.
Because the MD was sacked and brought a new one.
He was not keen to start project.
That one, Koko Amuton Enabi pour commencer project. I wrote to them.
And then I have an agreement with you.
I had an agreement with you. I'm not going to one again.
Agreement bobu ñu ko fulfill in 2 years.
The nangotobo war nañ ko doxal ci diam ñaari at.
2009.
2009.
2010, 2011. Because
2010 to 2011.
Yes. Then tontu wuñ ma.
They never respond.
2 years lapse.
Start lapse.
2 years.
The 2 years
lapse ñaari at yi jeex.
Bindaat leen.
I wrote to them.
Tontu wuñ ma.
With still no response.
Amad a new MD.
They got another new MD.
Then a land commission came.
A land commission ñëw.
Boo xam ne terms of reference in Gazette.
The term of reference in Gazette di liñ gi feeñal ci kayit
was 2005 to 2010.
Mu ngi nekk ci diggante 2005 ba 2010.
That is the period under investigation.
Yes.
Loolu mooy li ñoo gëstu fi mu nekk.
So seen jurisdiction foofu la yam.
That's where their jurisdiction stops.
Mu boole ma si moom Jammeh.
And he involved me in that one.
After bu mu jëlee xaalis bi yëpp.
When he took all the money.
Mu boole ma ci land commission boobu.
He involved me in that land commission.
Man bokkuma ci.
I was not part of it.
Liñ Gazette.
Where they gazetted.
Mooy law bi.
That's the law.
Man 89 la am suma land.
89 la am suma. I got my land on at 89.
Mu force the chairman of the land commission mu boole ma si by force.
First the chairman of the land commission, and I was involved by force.
So land commission bi madam.
During the land commission, I went.
You invite some of the villagers, the youths there.
They invited some of the youths there.
Can you earlier demon court, yobuma court man a government?
Because those people earlier they took me to court with government.
Government position paper be mung fofu.
The government position paper is there.
You ne den ma yobu court man ma kini man ma government.
They said that they took me to court, me and the government.
Because they jail send land unlawful.
Because they said that they took their land unlawfully.
So land commission be used lolu.
So the land commission used that for land commission be na nyusukante kusi lolu.
Them sike land commission be.
He went to the land commission.
Land commission be jail land be from me.
The land commission took the land from me.
Then ko delo villagers.
It should be returned to the villagers.
At the time, Antuman Gay, lawyer Antuman Gay.
At that time, lawyer Antuman Gay
Don't act on my behalf.
Was acting on my behalf.
My mom said, "Send them to the appeal court."
And he told me that mom said, "Let's go to the appeal court."
Jurisdiction first.
Any law, the jurisdiction first.
You them to appeal court be.
We went to the appeal court.
You lose for futam.
We lost there also.
Because at
that time,
more control judiciary.
He was in control of the judiciary. Whatever pleases him, that's what they will do.
Case list be.
You take the case list and put it on his table.
I'm not interested in case be.
Anybody he has interested in his case,
instruction.
He will just give instruction. That's how the judiciary used to work. When we lost at the appeal court, my lawyer, Antuman Gay,
Mom said, "Send them to the Supreme Court."
He told me that Mom said, "Let's go to the Supreme Court." Because there is no truth in this.
Them to the Supreme Court.
We went to the Supreme Court.
2018.
In 2018,
Supreme Court be there
the Supreme Court returned all my lands.
Then there is an error there.
Where there is an error.
You mentioned judgment bobu.
They mentioned in that judgment.
Then you want to consult villagers for change of use.
They should have consulted the villagers for the change of use.
Do act be.
And that was not the act.
Do policy be.
That was not the policy. That was not their role. For them to take that decision.
Judgment is a foreigner, I think Sierra Leonean.
The person who wrote the judgment was not a Gambian, but a Sierra Leonean.
You applied for a review.
We applied for a review.
But it was unfortunately accepting because of technical reasons. Period being a review.
Because the period that you should review was doing a set at.
The lapse on because calculation the public holiday being defined.
Therefore, pass a wonder public holiday in a on.
So Lolota Supreme Court will review.
That was the reason why the Supreme Court didn't review it.
Why mansuma lease be?
But myself, my lease.
Limma wax lease be conditions in Fabinda.
The conditions written to that.
So buge change of use, it is only the honorable minister.
What is it stated that it was if you need a change of use, it's only the honorable minister.
Better up till today, honorable minister be more day issue change of use.
Until today, the honorable minister is the one responsible to issue change of use.
You ignore lolu.
And they ignore that one. You buy new tangam lolu.
2019.
2019.
After the Social Security defaulted 10 years.
When Social Security defaulted for 10 years.
You bind them a letter.
They wrote a letter to me.
Nema mununyo continue project bi.
They said that we cannot continue the project.
Because change of use be aumako.
Because I didn't have the change of use.
After Busen lawyer be Ami Ben Suda.
When their lawyer Ami Ben Suda
confirmed a change of use be ma Ami one was correct.
confirm that the change of views that I was holding is correct.
After Minister of Local Government, Binder Social Security.
When Minister of Local Government wrote to Social Security.
Waive lend 17 million B.
And waive the 70 million.
Because of the merit of the project.
Because of the merit of the project, my NJIE project B.
The majority letter be from Social Security.
When I received the letter from Social Security.
Discuss ko ak suma solicitor.
I discussed it with my solicitor. Waxtaan ko ak suma solicitor bi.
Social Security was demanding the 30 million.
Social Security were demanding the 30 million. ñoom ñu ngi doon xeeñtu beneen fanweeri million boobu.
Ma fay ko to Social Security.
So that I will pay it back to Social Security.
My lawyer drafted a letter.
My lawyer drafted a letter.
Sign ko.
And sign it.
Fine.
And he told them fine.
My client is willing to pay that 30 million.
My client is willing to pay the 30 million. Suma client bi de ene na pour fay fanweeri million boobu.
Why nañ dem fañ starté?
But let's go back to where we started.
He daf leen jox a virgin land.
He gave you a virgin land, suuf bu defu dara la leen jox.
Unencumbered.
Unencumbered. You accept ko.
ñu nangu ko.
Bindama.
And they wrote to me.
Demarcate ko.
And demarcate it.
Then you abandon land.
And they abandoned the land.
You am encroachers.
And dafa am ñu ci dugga.
Nit ñi di ñëw foofu rek di sampa.
People came there, start constructing.
ñoom Social Security bàyyi leen rek ñuy sampa.
The Social Security just left them to continue
land bi mu ngi
construction.
under their jurisdiction.
Because that land is under their jurisdiction, mu ngi ci seen ron.
Ba foofu fees.
Until that place is full.
Munatuñoo implement project bi.
They couldn't have implemented the project.
Ñëwaat back to man.
And they came back to me.
Dinaa leen te ñu ngi amee lease bi.
And they have the lease.
ñu ngi amee assignment bi.
They have the assignment.
Registered at the AG chambers.
ñu bind ko nag register ko ci AG chamber bi.
léegi ñu ne nag mën naa leen fay.
And they said that I should pay them.
Joint venture agreement bi.
The joint venture agreement.
For one, if there is any dispute.
It states that if there is any dispute, fekkee am na benn werante bu ci am.
ñu dem arbitration.
ñu dem ci fi ñuy àttee.
ñoom ñu yóbbu ma court.
They took me to the court.
ñu dem court.
We went to court.
Judge bi ruled to my favor.
And ñu ki àttekat bi dogal ci suma boor.
ne yéen a d'accord woon lii.
And told them that you agreed on this.
kenn forcé wu leen.
And nobody forced you people.
ñaari mature business public and private ñoo tase.
Two matured business, public and private, met together.
ngeen d'accord ci conditions yi.
And you agreed on these conditions.
Go back to arbitration.
You have to go back to arbitration. ngeen delluwaat fi
ñu bañ.
They refused.
You appeal. You mu ngi ci appeal court bi right now as I'm here.
They appealed and it is at the appeal court.
But all that is interesting and all that is for the courts. Unfortunately, this commission cannot sit in litigation over those issues.
That's not the purpose.
Yes, but then, in the meantime, you were prosecuted.
I went to court. You charged me for economic crime.
Madam court, ñu tuumaal ma ne dama yàq koppar.
Refusing to pay capital gains tax.
Ne dama bañ a fay naa ma ci li nga xam ne loolu laa jot.
Then bi ma ko jotee.
When I receive it.
You discuss ko ñu dem court.
We discussed it. We went to court.
dañ ma njëkk a arrest.
I was first arrested.
yóbbu ma Kairaba police station.
I was taken to Kairaba police station.
2 months.
2 months.
Allowuñ ma gis lawyer.
They didn't allow me to see a lawyer.
ñu bàyyi ma foofu rek.
I was just left there.
Were you allowed to see your family?
Wow, suma nañ ma daan indil añ ak reer ak ndeewu.
Yes, they used to bring food for me.
Because it's a back-to-back man ak police station bi ak suma kër.
The police station and my house is not far away. It's just back to back.
They basically share a fence, pretty much.
Yeah.
Then afterwards, mu ne nañ ma génne foofu yóbbu ma remind.
From there, he instructed that let me be taken from the police station and send me to the remand.
ñu yóbbu ma court parti man nii rek ne ma naa dem remind.
They took me to court. Just at the end, they put me to remand.
For economic crime.
On economic crime.
ma nekk foofu.
I was there.
Did you inform them that as per the agreement, Social Security was responsible for paying the tax?
Ndax waxoon nga leen ne ci nangu too bi day Social Security ñoo waroon a fay naa.
loolu ñëw na later ci inform Nalen because
I informed them.
Then Social Security MD agreement bi mu read ko.
They gave the Social Security MD to read it.
Mu confirm ne jot na xaalis bi.
He confirmed that he has received the money.
Waaye dañ ko daaxa before moom mu execute payments yooyu le.
But he was sacked before he executed those payments.
So money bank for still as we talk.
The money is there.
Court bi.
When we came to the court,
Judge bi laaj ko.
The judge asked him
to read agreement bi.
To read the agreement.
Then mu read last page bi.
Then he read the last page.
Fala prices yi nekka.
Where the prices are written.
Mu ne ko ndax did you receive the money?
And he was asked whether he has received the money.
Mu ne yes.
And he said yes.
And then mu ne ko luta fayuloo ko mu ne ko dañ ma daaxa before ma finalize payment.
He was asked why you didn't pay it. He said that I was sacked before I finalized the payment.
Mr. Njie, the obligation to pay as at that time, on who was it at the time? Who had the obligation to go and pay the money to the GRA?
It is my responsibility as sale bi ci man la jaar. So it's my responsibility.
It was my responsibility because the sales passed through me.
But it was a clandestine deal. Ma bëggoon Social Security def payment bi loolu tax ma bàyyi fa xaalis ba.
I wanted Social Security to do the payment. This is why I left the money there.
Loolu tax ma bàyyi fa xaalis bi.
It's why I left that money there.
It's 19.5 million.
It was about 19.5 million. Do them see fukki million ak juroom ñenti téeméeri.
65,000 plus 20 times by 300. So, ñu dem ci court bi with upon all those information.
We went to the court with upon all those information. Bataaxel yooyu yëpp de.
Mu convict ma for 9 good years.
I was convicted for 9 good years. Ñu tëj ma juroom ñenti ati kaso.
But this is for money that did not come to you.
Lii moom xaalis la boo xam ne ñëwul ci yow.
I didn't benefit out of it.
The money went to who?
Xaalis bi ci kan la dem?
He took the money
and convicted me.
And got you prosecuted
yes.
for not paying tax on the money that he took from you.
Yes.
Mu jëlee xaalis ci yow ba pare yóbbu la court ñu tëj la ci xaalis boo xam ne moom daf ko jëlee ci yow.
That sounds like gangsterism.
He is a pure gangster.
He's
more than a gangster.
Where's not gangster? Addo kalfe.
Parce que maa ngi toog fii nii.
Because I'm sitting here.
I remember that day in April 12, we were sentenced to 9 years.
I can remember the day in April when I was sentenced to 9 years
in prison.
In prison.
Box bi.
I was in the box.
George bi xool ma gisul benn remorse ci man. Ma feel ko.
The judge see that there is no remorse on me. I didn't feel anything.
Mu wax ko moom si boppam.
Then he said it himself.
Buga ko tontu.
He want to respond on that.
Suma lawyer bi Antuman mu gis ne maa ngi buga react.
My lawyer Antuman see that I want to react.
Ne man mu def nii.
And he nodded me that I should not.
My family members were there.
My family members suma mbokk yi ñu ngi fa.
It was a very tough day.
Nekkoon na bés bu métti.
You help ma si moto.
I was put in a vehicle.
Truck.
A truck.
You open my mile 2.
I was taken to mile 2.
Maduga.
And I entered.
Solan ma a jumper.
They gave me a jumper.
Suma duga fofu.
When I have never entered there.
Yobu ma rek ci benn cell.
They just took me to one cell.
Tek ma fofu.
And I was placed there.
In the evening.
In the evening, ci ngoon gi.
Benn boy mu jógee fali.
A boy came from there.
My uncle.
He told me, uncle,
I
will give you my bed.
Because the cell was overcrowded.
Because the cell was very neat.
It was for about 200 nit.
Lu dem si ñaar téeméeri nit ñoo fa nekkoon.
And over 1,000 nit was sleeping there.
Lu weesu junne nit ñu fa doon tëdd. There are some who usually spend the night at the toilet. Majority of them spend the night on the floor. The boy, I've never seen him. I didn't know him. He gave me his bed. And he spent the night on the floor.
Then afterwards,
he usually helped me.
It's my first experience.
My first experience. In the morning, I went to perform ablution and pray. When I entered to the toilet,
it was a shock.
It was a big shock. I found some standing sleeping. Some were sitting on these oil bottles, gallons, sleeping. That shock took me out and I went back. I want to pray. I didn't perform ablution.
It was painful.
It was very painful.
It was painful.
The boy usually support me, the blanket, the bed and the net.
Mr. Njie, you were in court here. You were being tried in the first place for not paying tax on money you did not take.
Mr. Njie, yangi ni court chanjel ben ñu dal di la charge xaliss bo xamne sax yow jëluloko pour nga fay ci
Did you tell the court that in fact it was that sale was at the instigation and insistence of the president and that the money went to him?
Da waxon nga court bi ne Njie momu yeb li ko waralon moy xalaati president bi la te xaliss bi sax ndaxam mom moko jël.
Yes, sir, if I did that, he would have killed me.
Then don't talk if
I wouldn't have been sitting here.
I'm not experienced,
There is an experience there that
on record.
It is on record.
I jame binma detain process 24 hours NIA yangi suma buntikel.
Yeah, when I was being detained, all the process, the NIA used to be on my gate. Until one day before I was convicted, I performed ablution to go and pray.
My wife and get at the same time.
My wife was also performing ablution.
Me is very funny today, taste me.
She told me that this taste of the water is very funny. I just performed my ablution and went to the mosque. When I came back, I found the police there. They said that they took the workers at the police station
because
they opened the tank. They found something there. It's only God who saved us. That didn't spend a long time there.
What was it that was found there?
You stop tank, you empty tank bi.
Lan lañ gisoon ci biir tank bi?
Fekk fa benn mbuus.
They found there one nylon bag.
Mu ngi am ay powder.
There was some
powder or poison or whatever.
You don't know whether it was poison or.
You jël ko.
We took it. They took it to the police.
Record ko.
And it was recorded.
So, police bi nekkoon SO bi fofu.
The SO, the station officer there.
More maids si fofu ku nekk laaj la ak workers.
All the maids and the workers who were there.
Laaj leen kana def li fi.
He asked them who put that thing there.
Ñoom yëpp ñu ne ñoom nekk nañ ci kër gi 10 years ñoom duñ def loolu.
They all said that they have been working in that compound for more than 10 years, they cannot do it.
That was a strong warning.
That was a very strong warning.
Were there any indications or suggestions as to him who might have done that?
The capacity.
There's only one person who could have done that, who was Yaya Jammeh. He was the only one who has the capacity to do such a thing.
Because my family then they gain and you isil maleka ya na si juma si police line.
My family will come and bring me food at the police line. They knew that nobody is there. Sometimes the white man said that sometimes they used to send him.
Who would send him?
The NIA guys.
NIA.
So they were always around your house?
So do I have information to you?
I will not know all those information at the end.
I deal the risk to reveal information public court.
And I risk to open to reveal those information in court.
I was my family doing revelation.
My family wouldn't even have agreed for me to do those revelation.
Because it was a terrible feeling. My serve sentence be 5 years.
When I was sentenced,
9 years.
When I was serving the 9 years sentence.
Again, after 6 months.
Perhaps before that, let's talk about the fine, because there was a fine imposed on you.
Yeah, my family do the fine, Bob.
My family start paying that fine.
My receipts.
I didn't remember. If I cannot remember, I have the receipts.
You will get it today or tomorrow.
You will have it today or tomorrow.
300,000.
300,000.
And then call them fake to the central bank, you to the court will give the receipt.
You pay to the central bank, it comes to the court, and the court will give you a receipt.
Then, prison again.
When I went to the prison again.
But there was an order for you to pay 4-point-something million.
4.5 million, that was the capital gains tax.
4.5 million.
Lolo Tahma don't pay that installment payment.
This is why I was paying that installment payment.
But so, why didn't you ask Social Security to pay it? If they have retained money.
Social Security confirmed in Alice Bank.
Social Security already confirmed that the money is there.
And there is an exchange between Manyom and Manyom.
There was an exchange between us.
Because Kiham transaction be neka tutfa.
They didn't pay it because the one who knew the transaction was never there.
It was a new man.
There was a new man. I'm not going to ask Indi. He didn't touch it. He dared not. He dared not to touch it.
So, man am suffer.
I am the one to suffer for it.
So,
I just feel that is something ordained by God. There is nothing that I could have done. I had those been killed. I could have been one of them.
Like who, for instance?
Well, it was clear that 9 in prison. Man for one, I was there.
9 inmates they killed from the prison. I was there. I was sitting there chatting with them.
In the evening, in
the evening, when they entered to their cells, when they came for them, we saw people coming. They put boot.
They covered their heads.
They covered their heads.
And handcuffed them.
And
leg cuff them. So ñu romba ñu nekkon cell number 4 man ak ñom Scartel Diané Tamsir Diassé Go Seka ñu ñepp nekkon ben cell.
Those who were in the same cell with me, like Scartel Diané, Go Seka and the others.
Ko fe nak pour dem ci entrance bi pour dugga ci main yard bi.
When they called to go to the entrance to the main yard.
Were you in the security wing?
I was taken to the security wing afterwards.
Security wing bi lañ ma mujjé yobbu.
For what?
For capital gains tax, for economic crime.
Security wing?
Yes, I was in the security wing, sir.
I want the security wing.
For 5 good months.
Then
I only allowed my family after 3 months.
They allowed my family members to see me once after 3 months.
That was the most difficult part.
Because
my daughter then,
because I Aisha.
We and I
She was with her mother.
Magam Mohammed.
And the elder brother Mohammed.
And Hadin Njie, a family friend, Hadin Njie da Costa.
Hadin Njie da Costa, ko xamne ni su xariti kër gi la. They came.
Te buñ la sentenced for 3 months gisulo sa family.
If you are sentenced for 3 months and you don't see your family.
First time you am permission pour ñew.
The first time they came, they have the permission to come and see you.
They saw me only for 20 minutes.
Lu tollo ñaar fukki minutes rek lañ ma gis.
God been a time jotna.
And the guard said that the time is up.
Then suma dom bi.
Then my daughter.
Mu clem mu téema.
He hugged me.
Ne mom duma bayyi fofu.
He will not leave me there.
Yuhu.
He screamed.
Yaay ñew génné loxom bi.
They came and pulled her out.
With joy.
She was crying.
Ñibi bayyi ma fa.
And she left home and left me there.
And mu affect ñom ñaar ñep kenn ki was the head boy at Marina.
The other one was the head boy at Marina, Mohammed.
He was a good student.
He was a xale bu baax la woon.
Mu affect jangam bi.
It's affected his learning, education.
Affect Aisha.
And affected Aisha.
Affect my family.
Affected all my family.
Because it is not duga bi why so gena.
It was not when you are entering, but when you are leaving.
Package bi nga genale mo gina tough duga bi.
The package that you came with, you go out with is more tough than the one you came with.
The way society look at you.
Nakala la nit ñi di gisee.
Ñenn ñi dañ la xas.
Some will insult you.
Ñenn ñi li code bi wax loolu lañ gëm.
Some will believe exactly what the court say.
It was painful.
It was very painful. Meeting.
Experience naa ko.
Dal na ma.
Enewuma kenn mu dem through loolu.
I don't pray for anybody to go to that place.
The kind of mindset I have.
Ndax xalaat bi ma amoon.
My commission 3, 4, 5 feasibility studies on the average of 300, 500,000.
It was just to help the people. It was not for me.
I didn't need to them through lolu yep.
I didn't need to go through all those things.
How about your house at Kairaba at Batil Harding?
Yaya Jammeh daf ko bëggoon a jël jox ko yaayam.
Yaya Jammeh wanted to take it to give it to his mother.
How do you know that?
Yeah, fee information ken moomu ko esa.
Nobody owns information here.
Inspection ci gaay doon def foofu loolu la.
The inspection they were doing there, it was only for that.
And a lot of information that they leak.
And am ci bataaxel yu bari dañ daan senn.
With my age nga war ma sentence for 9 good years.
Ak suma at fi ma toll nga war ma tëj lu dem ci juróom-ñeenti ati kaso.
Nga xam ne suma xale yi ñoom ñii ñëpp ñu ngi abroad di jàng.
Some of my kids, some of them are abroad learning.
So in a nutshell, yaa ngi maa rey indirectly.
Ci kaw loolu dafa mel ni yow yaa ngi maa rey ci beneen yoon rek.
But did you hear about any steps he had taken towards confiscating your house from you?
Yes, because ma yóbboo court to bail me.
Because when I was taken to court to bail me,
mu joxe order ne nañ ma bailee for 20 million.
He gave order that I should be bailed for 20 million.
20 million. It's on record. Then suma kër googu lañ pledge boobu lañ dem value ko.
Then they pledged my compound and value it.
Pour mun a am ñu mun maa bàyyi.
So that I could be left.
So biñ demee mu discover ne.
So when he discovered that.
Ci liste bi suma tur nekku fa suma turi jabar moo fa nekk.
On the list is not my name, is my wife's name.
He was very disappointed.
Loolu da nekk na tas yaakaaram.
How did you know that?
Ni ma xamee ne kër gi la bëggoon su fekkee ne luus naa ko mu pour yaayam ñëw dëkk foofu.
He wanted the compound so that when I lose it, the mother will come and live there.
Noonu laa xamee information.
That's how I get those information.
Because man capital gains tax nga ma charge, be pare di ma bail for 20 million.
I was charged for capital gain tax, and later you have to bail.
Capital gains tax was 4.5 million.
Capital gain tax bi na $90 million la won mom mu joxe ndigal ne nañ ma bailé ñaar fukki million dollars.
Very simple. So only 5 million, so you bail me for 5 million. So it's understanding.
Bo non sa juromi million dollars nit ñi man nako dan man na dal xel.
20 million.
Waye ñaar fukki million dollars.
Well, the economic crimes decree was a very outrageous one, especially when it came to bail.
Yeah. And then you issue a white paper.
You joxe ben white paper.
Nena Fay, white paper B was prepared by justice.
White paper B was prepared by the justice.
And white paper bobu munena Fay 30 million be. A land commission white paper there.
Land commission white paper demanded us to pay 30 million.
They law land be to the villagers.
And return the land back to the villagers.
Supreme Court B.
The Supreme Court
set aside white paper B.
They took aside the white paper.
And
the
30 million.
The $30 million muy fanweeri million bi.
The most interesting part.
Li ci gëna am solo moy.
The chair of that land commission.
Nga xamne mo jité won commission bobu doon xagntu lu jëm ci mbiri suuf ci.
Justice Mahoney.
The Justice Mahoney.
After land commission bi mom lañ def solicitor general.
Gannaaw land commission mom lañ def solicitor general bi.
Because my lawyer bindon nako.
Then my lawyer wrote to him. I also went to see him in his office.
I
told him, I asked him why he made those recommendations.
Land Commission interfere in a private joint venture agreement.
I told him the Land Commission interfering into a private joint ventures.
You're going to do something.
Did he respond?
Yes.
Mutontu.
Yes, he will.
Ne waaw dana def dara.
He wrote a letter.
Mu bind a letter.
But did he tell you why he made those adverse findings?
He felt bad. He felt guilty.
Dafa gis ne daal amul fa dëgg.
Because if president be the chairman of the land commission.
He wrote back to the president, back to the president.
So c'était the final paragraph of that letter, SR.
It is in the bundle of documents, Mr. Chair. It's a letter dated 17 July 2013 from the Honorable Secretary, addressed to the Honorable Secretary General and Head of the Civil Service. It is appealed by stakeholders to reconsider the decision to revoke the lease granted to MAM SAIT NJIE, and which form the subject matter of a joint agreement between Social Security Housing Finance Corporation and MAM SAIT NJIE. Well, the relevant operative part, Mr. Chair, is I humbly advise that there are two avenues the government may take. One is to maintain the recommendations of the Commission of the Inquiry affecting MAM SAIT NJIE and Social Security Housing Finance Corporation, as confirmed by the white paper, to defend the appeal process and leave Social Security to recover their 30 million. Or to agree to allow the joint venture between MAM SAIT NJIE and Social Security Housing Finance Corporation to continue, since Mr. NJIE has already received the 30 million paid from Social Security, which appears to be difficult to recover, and furthermore, because the project previously had the blessing of His Excellency the President of the Gambia and permission from the Ministry of Local Government and Lands. Social Security Housing Finance Corporation is also interested in continuing the project, and if it is agreed that it is to continue, then consent terms will be filed in the appeal filed by MAM SAIT NJIE, which would have the effect of reviving the project and superseding the government white paper on the recommendations of the Commissions of Inquiry into land allocation in the Gambia. I look forward to His Excellency the President's reaction to this proposal, and also His Excellency of my highest consideration and appreciation. Incredible. What is strange is that this recommendation was not considered by the Commission. Well, if it
he was the chair, and he saw all the documents that he is referring to, because he was under pressure.
Ndax boo na mu ngi si ak not.
So limo xew.
This what happened.
And then social security tam.
And then the social security also.
Ma jox leen suuf mu yaaxu ci seen loxo.
I gave them land and it's all in their hands.
Well, the interest of the commission perhaps is about your trial.
Yes.
And conviction. And the 30 million taken away by the president.
Lilen itel dal moy liñ la yobbu atela tej la ak fanweri million yi nga xamne president bi jël nako ci sa loxo.
How did it feel to you being in that prison?
Naka la mel ci yow ba nga nekké mile 2 ci kasso bobu?
Esa li nekk fofu.
Esa what is there lit council.
I
didn't pray for anybody to enter that prison.
Are you doing anything about it?
Absolutely, I try.
Absolutely, I'm trying my best.
Tell the commission.
Hal commission below def.
When I was there,
during the Ramadan.
I was sitting there during the Ramadan.
Usman Jammeh OJ.
And Usman Jammeh OJ.
Former Secretary General.
Former Secretary General.
Very cool.
During the Ramadan.
Tandalma la gisunko.
Even the dates we didn't see it.
Not a single date. Tedeki Julit la.
And it's Muslim. It's a Muslim country.
Maleko Usman.
I told him, Usman.
This is very serious there.
I told him this is very serious. I told him that whenever I'm out of this place, I will make sure that there will be changes. He asked how. I told him that that one is left with God.
I am an executive member of Pipeline Mosque Foundation.
Executive member at the Pipeline Mosque. When I was out,
Madam,
I went.
Report matter bi.
I reported the matter that this thing is happening at the prison.
Christian community bi dañ fa dé ñew di dimbalé Christians ak Muslims.
I told them the Christian community will come there and help the Muslim and the Christians.
Ñu né ma lo buga def.
They asked me, what do you want to do?
I suggest pour ñu binda government ñu jox ñu permission ñu door di fa di dimbalé prisoners.
I told them that I would like us to write to the government so that they will give us permission to be helping the prisoners.
You been the interior.
We wrote to the interior.
Permission.
And they gave us the permission.
Then the executive gave me also the mandate.
The executive gave me the mandate.
Funds.
So that I will go and look for funds.
Dimbale prisoners during the Ramadan. That's the most difficult part.
Help the prisoners during the Ramadan. That's the most difficult part.
3 o'clock.
What you have been given to break your fast will be given to you around 3. Rice and meat.
So by the time tangay bi ci sel bi, by the time ndogu di jot,
by the time it's time to break your fast,
heat bi yaxana lekka bobu.
Because of the heat in the prison has spoiled the food.
Di nga gis ne nit dina o fofu be gudi du am ndogu.
Some will keep fast up till night. They will not have something to eat.
So you have a budget for mile 2 alone.
So they made a budget for mile 2 alone.
We were managed to have about 300,000-400,000.
We were managed. You
provided with milk.
We provided with milk, meal,
dates,
and tandarma. With all that to break fast.
First year.
The first year.
And then second year.
The second year at
you make a bigger campaign.
And you def benen campaign bu gëna reuy.
We raise $1 million.
Pour dal di joxe $1 million.
Then you boole ci Janjambure.
Then we include Janjambure
and Joshua.
So
you start a program bo xamne.
We started a program.
Very called the
whole Ramadan.
We
will be helping them.
Every year.
Every year at Budek,
my prisoners in your day, Julie, Korite Day.
I pray with these prisoners during the Korite Day.
My lunch ak ñoom.
I have lunch with them.
Ma ñibi ngoon suma kër.
In the evening, I go to my house.
Waxtaan ak ñoom.
I chat with them.
Wan leen rek ne am nañu care of seen well-being there.
Show them that there is somebody who is care about your being there.
Has this program ever stopped during the period that elapsed since you left prison?
No. Never. Last year, like about 10 days ago, ma Julie.
Yeah, last year, about 10 days ago. This year.
This last
Korite.
Man
I pray with them.
COVID we started
When the COVID started also, we bought many things.
So how did you serve the entire 9 years of your sentence?
No, 6 months.
I served for 6 months.
And then what happened?
When they killed those 9,
about a week or two after my release.
About 1 week or two, I was released.
But before your release, your family was making an effort to pay the 4.5 million that was adjudged against you.
Tell
us about it. What were the proposals?
No, the proposal more one day you pay the fine, you again.
The proposal was that you pay the fine and you will be released.
You pay the 4.5.
Pay the 4.5.
You buy it.
And you will be released.
But your wife took steps to that effect.
She wrote to the president and offer him
400 plots.
400 plots.
President be accept ko.
And the president accepted that.
We send somebody at the policy analysis unit by the name of Charles Camara.
He sent somebody at the policy unit by the name Charles Camara.
But this is after he had issued a white paper.
After the white paper, and I was in prison then.
Yes, proceed, tell us.
So Charles Camara calls my wife.
Charles Camara called my wife.
Neko ndax mun na ñew with the original document plus a photocopy.
Whether I can come with the original document with a photocopy.
Then my wife went mu dem ak magam.
My wife went with his elder brother.
Cerno Diallo.
Cerno Diallo.
Cerno Diallo.
Cerno Diallo.
Moy witness bi.
Was the witness.
You jox ko original documents the lease.
Was given the original document which is the lease.
Mu seet ko.
He looked at it.
Photocopy ko.
And photocopy it.
President was interested.
And the president was interested.
After bu mu jëlé 300 yoyu.
When he took the 300,
bu buga jëlaat another 450 bi.
I wanted to take the other 450.
Dafa wone rek ni miné won mom.
That's so how mean he was.
Very mean. Man maa ngi ci prison bi.
I was in the prison.
Mu tëj ma fofu.
I was jailed there.
Defuma dara.
I did nothing.
Li des mu buga ko jël.
What is left, he also want to take that one.
Dem nañ that far.
We went up to that far.
I am trying to trace the letter that your wife
is there.
Wrote to. Yes, I would find it. Just give me a moment. I'll find it. Just a moment. Okay. Here it is, dated 13 September 2012. Excellency, the Vice President of the Republic of the Gambia, Your Excellency, offer to pay a judgment debt in kind. So I am Jainaba Jallow Njie, wife of MAM SAIT NJIE, who was convicted on 27 March 2012. On conviction, a fine of 300,000 was imposed. Okay, and the fine has been paid, but the family is unable to raise the 4.5 million to pay the capital gains tax. There is a farm of 74 hectares at Makumbaya, which we own, and would like to offer a portion of the land to the government to pay for the 4.5 million to settle the order made in the judgment. To us as a family and as Muslims, what is paramount is for the debt to be paid, and I am unemployed. My children are young, and da-da-da-da-da-da. And then, lastly, this proposal is our last hope, and we pray that it will be acceptable to you. We solicit your assistance as good Muslims in this trying time, which my family unfortunately finds itself in. So it was copied to the Attorney General and Secretary General. So you said Yaya Jammeh accepted this offer?
Yes, because she was invited. Of course, invited to Mudem State House.
He invited her to go to State House.
To meet Charles Kamara, the son of former Vice President Andrew Kamara, late.
He met the Charles Kamara, the son of former Vice President Andrew Kamara.
Policy Analysis Unit.
He is working at the Policy Analysis Unit. He went with her brother, and they sit.
Documents
and they pick all these documents.
Because Charles dafa minute ci letter bi nekkoon na go ahead and finalize this deal.
Because Charles saw in the letter that he minute that he should go and finalize with it.
Wan na loolu suma jabar.
He told that to my wife.
So then that was in September.
That was loolu September la.
Then October.
In October, I was left. I was released.
In the meantime, we have had the then Minister of Justice, Mr. Jobate, testify before this commission. That at around that time he impressed upon the president that you should be released because you had not done anything wrong.
On the oath.
I had it here on the oath.
So that means lim don wax yeb digala.
That means what he said is true.
Because Mom, as the Minister of Justice.
Mom, as a Minister of Justice.
Wax na an honest opinion.
Wax na nag li nga xamne moy xelam bu wër.
Kon li wax digala.
Then what he said is true.
But soon after that you were released.
Wa yagul rek ñu bayyi la.
Mom, Deputy IG.
He himself, Deputy IG.
Inspector General.
Inspector General.
Present Secretary General of the Head of the Civil Service.
Present Secretary General, Head of the Civil Service.
Noah Touré.
Ñom
la of the cabinet.
He called them at the cabinet.
Di waxtaan ak mom ñom ñep ñuy waxtaan be end up mu ne tay dina ma bay.
They chatted until he decided that on that day he will leave me.
Press release.
They should write a press release. At night.
Fax ko modem officer mu fax ko to GRTS Fatou Camara mo don read news.
Fax it to GRTS Fatou Camara was the one presenting the news.
Ñëwé indi wuñ ben document pour génné ma ci prison bi.
When they came, they didn't come with any document to take me out of the prison.
Mon nañ jafé-jafé sax pour duga.
They have some problems to enter. They found me in my cell. I took my towel, I put water there. Put it on my head.
Reduced temperature
so that I will reduce the temperature. And when they enter to the cell, at night, they told me that Mr. Njie, let's go. I told them I will not go.
I refuse.
Refuse
again.
And
supervisor be
the supervisor who came with them.
Mr. Njie, you are going home.
He told me that Mr. Njie, you are going home.
Minister of Justice is here.
The Minister of Justice is here. Then
somebody
then Yajame sent somebody to my house
to
tell them that today I'll spend the night there. When I arrived at the compound gate, I found that these kids were waiting for me.
Why did you initially refuse?
Because prison bobu ñu ñëpp dé waxtaan am na ñoo xamné dañ leen dé jël ci guddi di leen yóbbu di leen toccio.
We usually have discussion at the prison. Some people will be collected there at night and torture them. Some will say that they spend the night at NIA. Some will say that they were taken to Bond Road.
So dégg naa loolu already.
So I had that already.
Suñ ma ooyee pour ma dem du ma nangu.
So if they ask me to go out with them, I will not agree.
Lolo taxoon ma refuse to go.
That's the reason why I refuse to go.
Why do you think Yaya Jammeh released you?
Lan nga foog ne moo tax Yaya Jammeh
Before
bàyyi la.
time?
Duma wax ne conscience because amut ko.
I will not say consent because he has no consent.
That is a very serious allegation that he doesn't have conscience.
Loolu de moom tuuma bu rëy la ne moom daal amul xel amul xalaat.
Because ESA,
sorry, lead counsel.
lead counsel,
The commission be started bentay.
when the commission started up to now,
Liñ fi dégg fii.
what we had here
Ci rey.
on killing,
ñu solal leen mbuus di leen rey.
somewhere put the nylon bag over their heads and kill.
ñii ñu ñëw jël si leen may to 9 góor ak benn jigéen.
Some were taken from my to
9 women, 9 men and a woman.
Yes. Yóbbu leen rey leen.
They took them and killed them.
yu bare.
And many things.
Nit ko am conscience du def loolu.
Somebody with conscience will not do that.
Nit ko am conscience du nekk di rey nit ñi rek di rey rek.
Somebody with conscience will not continue killing people like that.
Jàppa di jàppa rek.
Arresting.
By our count, it's over 157 West African migrants, 11 November 11, and 9 death row inmates and family members, and the students 14.
Yes.
So the counting continues over 100.
Yeah. Okay.
ñu day liñ compté gum ci ñim rey ëpp na téeméer.
Under normal circumstances, a normal human being.
Ci ni ko xamne ni mu ngi and ak xelam.
Nit rek benn rek.
If you kill only one person,
It's enough pour ñu ne la yow nekkatuloo nit.
it's already enough that they should term you as that you are not a human
Ki
being.
binda nit dafa ne su nit rey ñu rey ko.
Yes, God himself.
Lii la doon bàyyi mu nekk a toy nga xam ne daf ko enjoy di continuer di rey rek.
It's what he was enjoying, that to continue killing people.
That's why God said that if a person kills, that person would be killed.
Yes.
And the reason is he did not want that person to continue enjoying killing.
Okay.
And he was enjoying killing.
The mom nak daf daan bànneexu ci rey rek.
Rey.
He just killed.
Parce que ñun ñëpp a daan toog ñu bari appear nañ fii ñoo daan toog di añ together di reer together.
Many of us appeared here. We were together. We
Ku dem
have
foofu la nga
lunch
wax sa
together.
own experience lana tax nga ñëw fa.
If you go there, you say your own experience why you were there.
Métti woon na de.
It was very painful.
Dafa métti woon ba da ngaa toog fii di laajte naka nga ko survive sax.
You'll just be sitting down asking yourself, how do you survive it?
waaye alhamdulillah.
Alhamdulillah, thank God.
ñu mun a ñëw toog fii.
We can come here.
ñi xamoon liñ xam.
Those who knows what they knew.
ñi nga xam ne léegi xam nañ di true story.
And they knew the true story.
Mr. Njai, you are a perennial investor, always looking for an interesting project that would make huge impact in Gambia. You ventured into putting together a fertilizer factory. What happened?
yow nit ka nga xam ne day saa yu nekk rek yaa ngi wuga dépasse biir réew mi loo xam ne dina yokk ko mi réew mi xalaatoon nga sax pour def factory ngir fu ñoo amee ay tos.
dafa amoon Ukrainian investors yu fi ñëwoon.
There were some Ukrainian investors who came here.
ñëw.
Who came.
You make a proposal ne dañ bugg a build a fertilizer plant.
They proposed that they want to build a fertilizer plant. Then fi bugat a place bu ñu amé tos.
At Sifo.
Ci Sifo.
You allocate ma fofu land.
I was allocated a land.
Use ko as my equity.
And I use it as my equity.
Uta moko kill raw.
He is the one who killed it raw.
Because Yaya Jammeh soko satisfied with rek.
Because if you don't satisfy him, he will not do what you want. When we chatted, when we discussed, he wanted to change the concept, and he wanted to take the project, They came here, When they went back,
there was a special access. Amon na access ak ñoom.
he was accessing them.
Amon na demand sum defoon.
There was some demands that he made.
I refuse.
And they refused.
Like what?
Laaj leen xaalis.
He asked them some amount of money.
Gaay ne ñoom duñ def loolu.
They told him that they will not do it.
So mu ne buñ fi ñëwati.
So he said to them that let them not come back here.
And then this is how that project died. Non la ko reyee.
That's how that project died.
How about your involvement in the project? Did he have anything to say about it?
Yow na li nga bokkon ci project boobu ndax am na dara lum ci wax.
Well, not directly. Dama speculate rek xawma lu tax xawma lan la ci wax.
Not directly. I'm just speculating because I didn't know what he had said on it.
Because Yaya Jammeh tam amoon na habit boo xam ne daf dee wax loo xam ne dara nekku si dëgg.
Yaya Jammeh has a habit that he will say something and that will never be true.
Pare mu waat.
And at the end he end up swearing.
Moo fi daaxa waat.
He is the one who can swear better than anybody.
Su waat doon rey moom dee na bu yàgg.
If swearing could have been killing some people, he would have died by now.
Dégg nañ ko mu téye xawma ndax alxuraan la lan every time mu ngee waat rek.
We usually see him handling this.
And what happened to the land you were allocated at SIFO, which you used as equity?
Léegi paka bi nga xam ne moom lañ la joxoon SIFO nag nu mu mujjee.
would have ko annex because it was a back-to-back ak laanam bi nekk SIFO.
It was annexed because they share fence with his land.
Time boobu man jotuma lease land bi.
At that time, I didn't even lease the land.
Jox nañ ma ko compensate na villagers, but I didn't lease it, so
it was given to me.
Claim.
I compensated the villagers, but I cannot claim it back.
But nonetheless, whosoever is first in time is stronger in law. It was allocated to you.
Waaye ba léegi ci wàllu loi ki jiitu kay moo ko moom te yow béréb bi yow lañ ko joxoon.
Did he steal your land?
Dafa sàcc sa paka yooyu.
Lead council xamoon nga ne loi nekkut fii de.
Lead council knew that there was no law here.
Experience nga lu bari fii.
You experienced a lot here.
Dégg nga lu bari.
You had a lot here.
Time boobule kangaroo court moo fi nekkoon rek.
At that time, we have kangaroo court.
With mercenary judges?
Yes.
And scared lawyers?
Yeah, because, man, I was unfortunate.
I
was a former trainer.
Real de
Banjul, I'm a founder member.
Real de Banjul, in
1967.
Atum 1967.
To 72.
Atum 1972.
I lose final.
I have never lost a final.
Young type, so those were a strong team.
With the names of those whom he listed, they were a strong team.
9 of them.
The 9 of them.
National
Gambia
11.
They were at the national.
Surprised that they gonna your SIO nga joge Soldier Town gonna Waldan nga bokon. I'm very surprised.
I'm surprised that you are from Soldier Town. You have the well done.
For basi real. Ñom Cheikhou Sarr. Ñom Moussa Ndiaye.
Xam nga kenn du xol biir ba paré dem supporti keneen.
Waaw biir suma mag la waaye at the same time yow doo mun a dem bokki afdaay waaye li ma jéem a wax mooy football match la boo xam ne man suma diggante loo bi ak président bi la woon moom mu nekk amuñ woon referee amuñ woon linesman man maay woon football bi su kigee fii ma dem ci justice bi kick fii loolu laa doon dunda because ñi nekkul lawyer sax xam nañ ne ca digga moom moo nekkoon in charge of the
even those who were not lawyers, they knew that he was in charge of the judiciary.
tey soo demee mile 2 am na ñoo xam ne ñu ngi foofu defuñ dara.
Still now, if you go to mile 2, you see some people who are there who didn't commit any crime, and they are still there.
If you were to sum up Yaya Jammeh on the basis of your experiences with him, what would you say?
So don't think rek mbiri Yaya Jammeh ci li nga xamne wër ko ci li nga xamne mo dox sa digante ak mom loy wax.
Waaw lo rek lay mëna wax li ma dunda man ma mo.
I will only say what I experienced with him.
I'm 72 years old.
maa ngi toll si juróom-ñaar fukki at ak ñaar.
Dëkk naa Europe 20 years.
I lived in Europe for 20 years.
Foo xalaat fii ci Gambia ak Sénégal Guinée dem naa fa.
Anywhere you think of it between Gambia, Senegal, and Guinea, I've been there.
waaye musuma foog ne dinaa tase nit ku vicious comme Yaya Jammeh.
I never think that I will meet with somebody who is more vicious than like Yaya Jammeh.
Yaya Jammeh power daf ko corrupt on absolute corrupt.
Yaya Jammeh nag dafa nekkoon koo xam ne nii nguur daf ko geroon ba passé ger.
Kooku mënuma am a better description that ne ku bon la woon.
The better description, the better description that he was a bad man.
Well, there are quite a number of people in Gambia who would still say that he was a good man. He worked for this country. What would you say to that?
Waaye ba léegi de am na waa Gambia yoo xam ne ñu nekk nit ku baax la liggéeyal na réew mi loo mun a wax ci loolu.
Ku nekk ak sa own experience la man li ma dunda laay mun a wax.
Anybody with his own experience, me what I experience, that's what I can see.
Am na opinion pour wax tam moom it lim experience am moom.
Anybody has an opinion to see what he experienced with him.
waaye du def dara gratis de.
But he will not do anything for gratis.
Non, xamul ko.
He didn't know it.
Well, doing something gratis is part of teranga, which is our culture.
Mentioning teranga.
So today, mbiri teranga. Before I forget it.
The accident of Lajola.
The accident of Lajola, Battle Lajola.
Madam, I'm fishing trawlers, man.
I used to have some fishing trawlers.
8 vessels.
Lu dem si juróom ñetti gaal.
Bu nekk daf daan hire up to 27, 30 Gambians.
Bu si nekk will hire up to 27 to 30 Gambians, ay doomi Gambian.
Ñu dem di nappa.
You go for fishing.
Then I'm confederal license.
We have confederal license.
Napa Gambia ak Senegal.
To fish in Gambia and Senegal waters.
Léeg-léeg mu jàppa suma gaal.
Sometimes he will just arrest my vessel.
Fine ma.
And fine me.
And it was a joint venture ma Chinese.
And te temen nak njula mu seqon la man ak Chinese.
The accident bi xewee.
When the accident occurred.
I dem julli ji fajri.
I was just going to pray for a Fajr, early morning prayers.
Captain be called.
The captain called.
Suma jabar jëf téléphone bi.
And my wife picked the phone.
Am na accident bu mag bu xew fii.
And he said that there's a big accident that happened here.
Ma ne ko bàyyi den bi ma delsee jógee fajar ba ñibbisi.
When I came back from the prayers,
ma am telephone bi ring.
The telephone just rang.
I picked telephone bi.
I picked the phone.
Captain bi was a Chinese. It was a joint venture.
The captain was a Chinese because a joint venture.
Mu wax ma ne accident bi dafa xew.
He told me that there is an accident.
Ma ne leen nañ bàyyi li ñoo def yëpp dem assist leen.
I told them to leave all what they are doing to go and assist them.
Then ñu dem.
When they went,
ñu mucca yëpp.
all those who survived,
suma vessel bi moo leen pick.
they were picked by my vessel.
Then a Frenchman.
One Frenchman.
And a Gambian.
And a Gambian.
The rest is Senegalese.
And the rest were Senegalese. ñi si des Sénégalais lañ.
So Frenchman bi di insist ne la leen gaal bi yóbbu Dakar.
The Frenchman insisted the boat should take them, the vessel should take them to Dakar. I told them no, let them come to the Gambia.
Suba si 8 o'clock in the morning.
In the morning around 8.
Ma dem ci Senegalese embassy bi.
I went to the Senegalese embassy.
Ma fekk fa ambassador Njuga Njie.
I found Ambassador Njuga Njie.
Wax ko accident bi.
I told him the accident.
Communicate further to Senegal.
He communicated to Senegal.
Jata, the former chief of defense staff.
Jata, the former chief of defense staff.
Ma inform Koko.
I informed him.
Mo inform President Jammeh.
He informed President Jammeh.
Then Ablaye Wade was the president then.
Time boobu jamono nguuri President Ablaye Wade la woon ci Senegal.
Then vessel si ñëw fii.
Then the vessel came here.
ñu jël gars yi ñu provide ambulance.
We provided ambulance. ñu dimbale leen ci ambulance.
Hospital bi tam fu ñu leen di yóbbu.
ak lopitaan bi leen a yóbbu, the hospital where they will be taken to.
Then Ablaye Wade ñëw fii.
Then Ablaye Wade came here.
At the time, Alhaji Cissé was the chief of protocol.
Then Alhaji Cissé was the chief of protocol.
Ma toog ñu oo ma ci airport bi.
I said I was at the I went to the airport.
ñu introduce ma ak Ablaye Wade mu ngi toog ak President Jammeh.
I was introduced to Ablaye Wade when he was sitting with President Jammeh.
Mu request pour man ma dem Sénégal.
He requested that I should go to Senegal.
Mu decorate ma with this highest order.
So then he decorated me with this highest order. Mu jox ma médaille bu fort bi.
Moom Ablaye Wade moo def loolu.
That's Ablaye Wade who did this.
Before mu def ko nag.
Balaa mu koo def nag.
Airport bi ma ki introduced the ambassador.
When I was introduced at the airport by the ambassador.
Ne ko kii gaalami moo rescue Senegalese yi mucca yëpp.
That this man's vessel rescued all the Senegalese who escaped from that.
Mu oo Ibrahima Diagne la foog naa.
He called one Ibrahima Diagne.
He was the Director General of RTS.
Moo nekkoon Director General RTS.
Ne ma déglu mu ne ko déglu li Njie di wax.
He said, listen to what Njie is saying.
Waaye su fekkee ne am na benn cost bu involve.
But if at all there's any cost involved,
The Senegalese government dinañ ko compensate.
kon nguuri Sénégal dañ ko jox ndàmpaay.
So ma ne ko loolu ëpp naa def.
I told him that no, I will not do that.
Because diggante Sénégal ak Gambia benn la.
But because between Gambia and Senegal we are all the same.
Su xewoon Sénégal ñoom it dinañu defal lu ëpp lii.
Su xewoon Gambia then Senegal dañu defal lu ëpp lii, they will do it the same for us.
So ma refuse to get any offer from them.
So ma bañ nag pour jël benn ndàmpaay boo xam ne tukkee ci seen nguur.
Invite ma yóbbu ma ba Sénégal.
He invited me to Senegal.
Decorate ma foofu.
And I was decorated.
And later on mu invited ñu.
Later he invited us again.
Ñi involved yëpp ci rescue boobu.
Those of who involved in that rescue.
Bi gaay di def prayer.
When they were doing these prayers.
ñu attend moom Yaya Jammeh mu jox ñu plane am bi.
Yaya Jammeh gave us his aircraft.
And about 4 ministers joined us.
And about 4 ministers you and ñun.
Ñu dem.
When we went.
You witness prayer.
To witness the prayers, ñu fekkee ñaan yooyu.
Ñëwaat fii Gambia.
And we came back to the Gambia.
And Senegalese yi amuñ foofu.
The Senegalese didn't stop there.
Bi ñu yégee ne Yaya Jammeh daf ma jàppa.
When they heard that Yaya Jammeh arrested me.
Dañ dem on TV.
They went on TV. Dañ dem ci télé bi.
Ne ñi nekk ci jàngu yi.
Ne those who are in the churches.
Ak ñi nekk ci jumaa yi.
And those in the mosque.
Because suma role ci la Joola.
Because my role in the Lejola.
Nama ñëpp ñaanal pour Yaya Jammeh bàyyi ma.
Let them all pray for me so that I will be released by Yaya Jammeh.
Live on TV.
Live on television.
Sénégal jërëjëf ñoom it ñu am teranga lañ.
Then Senegalese people ñu am teranga lañ.
Mr. Njie, thank you very much.
Mr. Njie, jërëjëf.
I have no further questions.
Amatuma leneen lu ma lay laaj.
Hand over the witness to you, Mr. Chair.
Mr. Chair, jébal naa la seede bi.
Thank you very much, Council, and thank you very much, Mr. MAM SAIT NJIE, for an extraordinary testimony this afternoon.
Jërëjëf Council, jërëjëf MAM SAIT NJIE ci seede yu am solo yi nga xam ne moom nga fi def.
It's very rare to come across a very good person, quite enterprising, who would fall foul from the leader of a dictatorship.
Jafe na nag pour am nit ku baax ku mel ni yow di nit koo xam ne ku farlu nga ñëw daal loru ci loxo koo xam ne rek moom doxalinam yépp mbiri jaay doole la.
When all you have at heart is the good and progress and development of your country and people.
Te fekk yow li nga am kéene ci sa xol bi yépp moo di njëm kanam ak yokkute sa réew ak nit ñi ko dëkkee.
I'm sorry you encountered such a great difficulty during the regime of Jammeh.
maa ngi la masaw bu baax a baax ci jafe-jafe yi nga jànkuwanteel ci jamonoy nguuru Yaya Jammeh.
That enterprising side of you.
Li nga xam ne yow pour dépasser réew mi rek mooy sa jubluwaay.
I hope technology would help Gambia to clone you.
te xam naa ne nag li nga xam ne mooy wàlli xam-xam xarala yu mujj yi dinañ dimbale réew mi pour ñu fal la.
So we have more MAM SAIT NJIEs to develop this country.
ñu am nag ay xam-xam xarala yoo xam ne dinañ mun a defar ay MAM SAIT NJIE yu ci bari yoo xam ne dinañ mun a nekk ci réew mi pour indi yokkute fii.
We're sorry for you and your family for the very difficulties that you encountered.
di la mastaw bu baax nag yow yaak sa njaboot ci jafe-jafe yi nga jànkuwanteel.
Commissioners, if you have any questions, please indicate. Imam C, you have the floor, please.
Ma'am Saint jërëjëf.
Ma'am said, thank you very much.
ñu ngi lay ñaanal.
We are praying for you.
itam muñ bi nga muñ ba Yàlla musal la. muñ bi nga muñ ba Yàlla musal la ci lii.
Until God has saved you from this,
yàq na sa alal.
they spoil your money.
nga gis loolu nga xam ne lii su ma ko muñut leneen dana mën a ne.
You have the patience to bear that one until, because you know that something may come out more than that.
loolu yëpp doyut ko.
That with all that, it didn't please him.
jël na itam di la tëj.
He end up locking you up.
waaye foo ci toll rek yaa ngi gëm Yàlla.
Wherever you are with God.
yaa ngi xam ne lii natt bu la Yàlla dal la.
You know that it is ordained by God.
ñu ngi la cee gërëm de la ci ñaanal.
We are thanking you and we are praying for
ñu
you.
la cee gërëm de la ci ñaanal.
We are praying for you also.
loolu rek la.
That's what I have to say.
Thank you, Imam C. I'm sure the Commission would endorse those prayers. If you have any concluding remarks, Mr. NJIE, please proceed to make them now.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Jërëjëf.
Jërëjëf, Mr. Chair.
Fi ma dooree mooy.
Where I will start is,
ñun Gambians dañ ko war fàtte.
we the Gambians, we easily forget
1981 li fi xewoon.
what happened here in 1981.
ñëpp ñu fekkee ko.
We all witnessed that date.
ñu fàtte ko.
We forgot it.
Ba 1994.
Until 1994.
loolu tam ñëw xew.
That thing also happened.
22 years.
22 years, ñaar fukki at ak ñaar.
te ñu ngi door di ko fàtte.
And we are starting to forget it.
loolu is very serious.
Loolu nag lu doy waar la de.
dëkka.
In any country,
law ak respect.
law and the respect.
su amul.
If there is no law and respect,
jafe-jafe dafa am.
then there will be difficulties.
amoon na incident bu xew Faraba.
There was an incident that happened in Faraba.
mu am ñu dee foofu.
Some died.
ñëwaat xewaat Sanyang.
It happened in Sanyang also.
ñoo gis dee si.
What we are seeing these days,
ñaan nañu yàlla dimbale ñu mun koo saafara.
may God help us to save our situation.
parce que li tax ñu am smiling coast bi in Africa.
Why we have the smiling coast in Africa,
jàmm rek la.
it's only peace.
touriste yi.
The tourists,
li tax ñu ñëw ci dëkk bi.
why they are coming here,
jàmm fi nekk.
it's only because of the peace.
ñu try ñu maintain jàmm bi.
Let's try and maintain the peace.
nit ñi am jàmm.
People have peace,
dimbale nit ñi.
help people.
loolu moo ñu mun a dimbale ëllëg.
That's what can help us tomorrow.
prison bi.
The prison,
ñi fa jaar yëpp bari nañ.
those who pass through it, there are many.
waaye suñ génnee rek fàtte ko.
But when they are out, they forget it.
it's a very serious problem.
This is very serious.
am na kilifa yoo xam ne ñu ngi fa jaar.
There are some elders who pass through there,
ñu ngi nekk ndombo borom ndombo tànka.
and they are still now top rankers.
waaye bañ fa génnee lañ ko fàtte.
But when they left there, they forget it.
nañ xalaat prisoners yi.
Let's think about the prisoners.
nañ leen jàppale.
Let's help them.
soo amee koo xam ne 22 years mu ngi nekk président.
If you have somebody who is 22 years is in charge,
am na ñu as président.
as president,
am na ñoo xam ne defuñ dara ñu ngi fa.
some people are there still, they didn't commit any crime,
man loolu laa dunda.
and that's what happens to me.
am na ñeneen ñu fa nekk.
And there are still some there.
loolu rek
That only thing
mun naa tax ñi fa nekkoon.
can make those who were there
jàppante ñoom it neen ay loxo.
To hold each other.
To come together.
And come together.
Dimbale ña fa nekka.
And help those who are there.
Président yi dugga nañ kaso. Président yi.
Some presidents.
Dem nañ prison.
They went to prison.
Am na yónneen ci dugga prison.
There are some prophets who went to prison.
Prison du ñu baax ak ñu bon ñoo fa dugga.
A prison, those good people and bad people always go there. Let's try to see how that place can be changed. I think the solution is let's build a new prison. And we help each other. And we have peace in this country. But it's sad when you are leaving this prison. The baggage that you are taking along. Some people will end up being mad. They cannot manage what they went through. For us, we are lucky God is helping us.
It's very painful.
It is very painful. We are praying. Peace prevail in this country. We help each other. And help those that we know that we are better, we are better than them.
Mr. Chairman, thank you very much.
Chairman, thank you very much.
For
giving me this opportunity.
Clouds doubt under my shoulder.
So that I will remove the clouds and doubts that were on my shoulders.
I really appreciate it.
I really appreciate it. I never thought that I will ever come here.
For a different purpose.
I once came here for a different purpose,
Honorable Justice Jobate.
This one, if at all it was not because of Honorable Justice Jobate, I will not come here. He also helped. He came here. He didn't mention that he was coming here. He didn't tell me anything. But he told his truth. And that's what compelled until I was invited here.
Commissioners,
I'm thanking all the commissioners. And this job is not a small thing. Maybe it's normal to you people. But it's not small in the eyes of God. There must be some people to do this. It's God who created human being and bring him to this world. Didn't want anybody to disturb them. They want somebody to persecute them. They want somebody to kill them. And that's what we survive. Let's pray to Allah that this will never happen again. Let everybody pray for that in this country. May it stop here.
Never again.
Never again.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah.
Thank you.
Thank you very much indeed. Again, we are the ones who should thank you, Mr. NJIE, for coming to testify before the Commission.
maa ngi gërëm Mr. Njie pour li nga ñëw wax ci commission bi la.
But again, thank you so much. Council, you must have a lot of submissions to make
yes,
for
Mr.
the record. Thank you. Please proceed.
The bundle of documents
yes.
Bounded together by Mr. Njie should be Exhibit 227. And then the letter dated 21st November 2008 should be 227A, and letter dated 25th November, that is from that is to the Managing Director of Social Security from Ministry of Finance. It's Exhibit 227B, and then letter dated 16 February 2009 on the domiciliation is 227C, and the letter dated 23rd June 2009 is Exhibit 227D. And then the stack of pictures would be Exhibit 227E1 to E27. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you very much indeed, Council, for that. The requests are all granted.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chair.
Yeah, thank you. All good things must come to an end. If we served any good purposes during the past 2.5 years, it's in our providing for the people of the Gambia public proceedings or hearings. They're coming. I see them putting one there. Thanks. Should I repeat or what?
Yes, please repeat.
Oh, my
Sorry,
apologies. I thought you were listening. Anyway, I'll shorten it. We are having our last public hearing tomorrow.
Tay moy suñ bés bu mujj bi nga xamé né elek moy bés bu mujj bi nga xamé né ci la ñoo def façon jotaay bu melni
ako kiaman kamen folem sama kudima odi kudima bandula ko sotala sama walbe kelana jamala si labangoti.
We will hold a special closing session.
Be siol kelal me alon ko sil me alon ko ye tombon I kamale.
Dinañ def jotaay bo xamné nak dañ ko jaglel.
We will tell you if it is going to be in the morning or in the afternoon tomorrow.
Mba falale na fabe kala sobandal la bam fabe kala tilibulol la sama.
Ko defé dinañ leen wax ndax ci suba si lañ ko def wala ci ngoon gi.
It depends on the availability of the witness scheduled to appear tomorrow.
Be ko nyimbe dese lala menga wala nyindi ko sedo nyinga be soto no la wato menna sama.
Dafa des rek ci sédé bi wara ñew ëlëk ban waxtu lañ ko am.
But we thank you all very much. We will get to see you tomorrow, 10 o'clock in the morning.
Ala baraka ba ke silam be lola jenne fo sama somanda nimbenda jang.
Ñu lay gërëm bu baax nak ba ëlëk ñu fi tassé ëlëk ci fukki waxtu yu ci suba.
Thank you all. Meeting is adjourned.
Work we put in to constantly change the landscape and elevate real estate in the Gambia. It's compared to none. From inception, our goal was to add value to the beautiful Gambian landscape. That's why we are proud innovators of community estates. Kololi